Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 8 of the Weeb Couch podcast. Happy New Year everybody, we made it, we got out of 2020 and it can only go up from here, right? As always, I'm your host Mason and joining me...
What is up, party people? I'm Killer Keemstar in the flesh.
Oh my god, guys, we actually got
news.
Keemstar on an episode of the podcast.
Ninja May Drake.
Oh, let's hope he doesn't, let's hope the Killer Keemstar doesn't start too much drama in 2021, although we can't really count on that, can we?
Of course not.
Okay.
What?
So, we hope you checked out our last episode, where we did a little bit of a looking back on 2020 and everything it's brought us from anime, games and movies. The best things it's brought us, the worst things it's brought us. And you know, we thought we'd do something a little bit similar this episode. We're going to give you a look forward to 2021, everything that's coming out, those same categories, anime, games, movies, some of the stuff you should really be looking forward to. And some of the stuff that you might want to skip, might want to give a miss. Because, you know, it's only 1 year. You can't do everything. So, why don't we get right into it with our animes? So, we've split the anime up, obviously, into the best stuff that will be coming out in 2021 and the stuff you should avoid in 2021. But instead of doing it by month, which we've done for games and movies, we've done it by seasons. So anime split their release dates up to seasons, so that's, you know, several months at a time. And yeah, we're just doing it in seasons. So we're gonna start off with that. It seems like a pretty good year for anime, I would say, 2021. There's a lot of shows coming back. There's a lot of second seasons of good shows. And there's a lot of new shows which look very interesting. So we may as well get started with Winter 2021, which is our current season. Runs all the way from December 2020 to February 2021. And starting right off with something that's already begun, started on December the 6th of 2020. That is, of course, Attack on Titan, the final season. Season 4. I have been watching it. It's very different. It's very different from the previous seasons. Yeah, so far. Haven't read the manga. I don't want any spoilers. But there's no, you know, humans bashing titans, at least not so far. It does seem to be taking a more like introspective road with the story, which I dig it. I dig it. It's certainly different. It's like a different show basically. But from what I've heard, you know, the end of the manga, which is coming up fast. It hasn't actually ended yet, but it's close. From what I've heard, it's going to be great. So definitely hop on that right now. There's only 4 episodes out at the moment, so it's a good point to jump on. Yeah, Attack on Titan season 4. Moving on to another well-known anime, another brilliant anime returning for a season 2. That being one me and Dan are both very, very passionate about.
Yeah, not furries.
Not furries. Don't worry. It's just a good show.
No.
We've talked about this a little bit before on the podcast. We definitely plan to go a bit more in depth when this season is finished. Beastars season 2 drops on January the 5th. It's almost here. The first episode drops January the 5th. Don't miss out. We don't know much about the plot so far, but again, it looks super exciting. The opening looks absolutely amazing. The opening's already out. Looks super cool. Check it out. Beastars season 1 only has 12 episodes.
Yeah,
so,
12.
Yeah, only 12. This one will probably have the same. So it's nothing long. Get in. Moving swiftly on. Another show returning for I believe it's season 4 or 5. I don't really follow it. I read the manga, don't follow the anime. 7 Deadly Sins, Dragon's Judgment. Now, both me and Dan, neither of us are big fans of the Seven Deadly Sins anime, but I myself have read the manga, and I find the manga is much better, and the part of the manga which this series is going to adapt is fire. So I'm definitely going to be checking out this anime adaptation, and you should too. I would recommend reading the manga up until this point because, like we say, the anime isn't really the best. But definitely, Seven Deadly Sins Dragon's Judgment drops on January the 6th. So again, almost there. And now we've got a little bit of a weird one. Ray Zero, Starting Life in Another World, Season 2, Part 2, also drops on January the 6th. So I haven't really been keeping up with the show, but I've seen Season 1. I did enjoy it. This is me who isn't really a fan of fantasy and is definitely not a fan of isekai. And I enjoyed it. It's different enough from other fantasy anime, and I can't really say much without spoilers. Plus, I haven't seen Season 2 Part 1. So, if you're into fantasy, give Ray Zero a watch. I know it's one of the most popular fantasy shows out there right now. But yeah, give it a watch. Also, another returning series in January. There are a lot of these. Promised Neverland Season 2 drops on January the 7th. One of a few shows dropping on January the 7th. So, Promised Neverland, I've talked about this on a previous episode of the podcast. I'm a huge fan of Season 1. Absolutely love it. Amazing story, amazing characters. And this Season 2 looks like it's going to expand the world a lot more. It's going to be a lot more world-building focused because the core of Season 1 lies in its mystery. And, hopefully we're going to get a bit more answers in Season 2. I can't wait for that. You shouldn't wait either. If you haven't seen Promised Neverland, please check it out. It's a great watch. One of my favourites from the past 5 years, probably, from anime. Amazing. January the 7th, Season 2 drops. Don't miss it. On to a show I didn't think was real until I actually watched it. Cells at Work. So, the comedy, sort of drama, educational anime about anthropomorphic cells inside a human body. Season 2 of that drops on January the 7th also. Again, it's surprisingly good. I really didn't think it was going to be good going into it, but I was pleasantly surprised. January the 7th, Season 2 of that show drops. Also, on January the 7th, Cells at Work Code Black, which is a side story OVA series, a limited series, also starts on January the 7th. So, I would probably recommend, if you've never heard of Cells at Work and you wanted to start checking it out, I've read the Code Black manga, and I would say watch Code Black first, and if you like what you see, go and watch Cells at Work, the base series, because Code Black is a good introduction. Yeah. Cells at Work, I was really surprised. This was the sleeper hit of 2019 for me, really. Never really heard anything about it. It came out. I just thought, well, it's by the same people who made JoJo's, so I watched it. Very good. Also, by the studio that makes JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, David Productions, is 243 Sign High School Volleyball Club, or Sign Kauko Danshi Volleyball. Also drops on January the 7th. This is the original series. Series 1, the first series that drops, the first original series to drop in 2021. It does have flavors of Haikyuu in it. I know a lot of people have been going around on social media recently saying, it's Haikyuu but JoJo's. Yes, it does look like that. Little bit more on the romantic side of things rather than the actual matches. But it looks good. It looks fun, and that's all David Productions shows really are. Really, they're fun. Cells at Work and JoJo's are prime examples. So I can't wait for that. January the 7th. Moving on to January the 8th, we have another original series that I am very, very excited for. That being Bottom Tier Character Tomozaki. So this is an original series which looks very interesting to me. It is
Very funny.
Yeah, it looks very funny. It's a slice of life anime about a competitive video game esports athlete, I guess, who's like, best in the world at this particular game, which is definitely not Smash Bros. And he's, his entire thing in life is he sees himself as a bottom tier character in life. So he has no social skills and no interaction with other people whatsoever until he meets a girl who is just as good as him at this game that is definitely not Smash Bros. And, she, the official description says she teaches him some cheats. So yeah, it looks pretty wholesome. A gamer anime. And yeah, check that out. Drops on January the 8th. Moving on to a very different show, also dropping on January the 8th, an isekai, but one I'm actually excited for.
It looks so weird though.
Yeah, this has been in development for about 5 or 6 years now. The release date has kept getting pushed back and pushed back, and now it's finally arriving on January the 8th. The series is called So I'm a Spider, So What?
Too many shows.
Looks similar in vein to That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Also is coming out in January. But this seems to be a lot more humor based rather than like world based. So, you get the gist. It's like a basic isekai plot. The main character is a student who gets killed and is reincarnated in a fantasy world as a giant mutant spider. Hijinks ensue. So that looks interesting at least. I wouldn't say it looks like, one of my best picks of the year or anything, but, I'll give it a watch. Yeah, it looks fun. Also, so that drops on January the 8th. Moving on to January the 12th, also, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 2 is dropping. So, Slime is probably one of the most well-known anime. I think it was 2018 or 19, I can't really remember. Probably one of the most famous anime that dropped in those years. And rightly so, very funny, very... it's very wholesome at times as well. Very heartfelt. And, one of the few isekais actually is different enough from the mold to stand out. And Season 2, Part 1, drops on January the 12th. So, January's stacked for anime. There's a lot. That is mainly because of the COVID-19 pandemic pushing release dates back. Many of the stuff we've already mentioned was meant to come out in December, but December was a little bit of a dry lineup for anime, apart from obviously Attack on Titan. So that's why January has so many shows coming out. It's going to be hard to keep track, but yeah, if we see something great, we'll talk about it. If we see something awful, we'll probably talk about it as well. But it seems pretty good this January. Moving on to February, and the only show we've confirmed is coming out in February is a Netflix anime called High Rise Invasion. This looks amazing.
Is this the one with the really unique art style that I saw?
Yes, the art style looks brilliant.
Yeah, it's really strange though.
It looks incredibly gory. Sort of like it's sort of a death game anime where our protagonist wakes up in a giant high-rise building with a bunch of other people, and they're getting hunted by I can't remember what they're called, like Death Watch or so they're called Death Watch or something like that. And yeah, it looks gory, it looks fun, it just looks like a good time. Basically, High-Rise Invasion coming in sometime in February. We'll probably hear more about that closer to the release date. And for a Netflix anime, and Netflix haven't really got that many anime coming out this year, which sort of surprised me. But yeah, looks good.
Give us more Castlevania.
Yeah, more Castlevania would be great also. Give us less Dragon's Dogma as well. So that's everything for winter 2021. Extremely stacked lineup. The winter is usually dry for anime anyway in other years. But yeah, this winter is absolutely stacked. There's a lot to watch. Moving on to spring 2021, which encompasses April to June. We don't really have any solid release dates for any of these titles because obviously with anime the release date has tended to be announced, maybe a month beforehand. So we'll get more info on these titles as they arrive. Moving into April, a remake of the classic early 2000s sort of ghost fighting manga / anime series.
JoJo.
No, not JoJo. It's basically JoJo for kids. Shaman King. I love Shaman King, the manga.
Yep.
I love that manga. Shame the anime goes in a completely different route. The anime's still okay, I guess, but the manga is great. And this remake promises to follow the manga storyline more carefully, and it's got from the few promos I've seen, it's got a great art style. I'm super hyped for this.
Yeah, it's very unique in its art style, so
yes,
I could see that moving.
Yes, it's going to be cool. Moving on to a sequel to an anime I really, really enjoyed when it came out in 2018. SSSS Dynazenon. Don't know what that word means so far. Is the sequel to 2018's SSSS Gridman, which it was a brilliant mecha anime made by the creators of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Absolutely brilliant art style in the anime, which seems to carry over to this. And this is interesting because we know pretty much nothing about Dynazenon. We don't even know what the word means. We don't know anything about the plot. We've seen a few images of the cast. Not the cast, the characters. The cast has been announced also. The art style looks to be the same. So very unique, very sort of animated. It is made by Trigger, studio behind Kill La Kill and Promare, which is a great movie.
So we know we got the animation off.
We got exactly. And let's hope the mechas look as good as they do in Gridman as well, because in Gridman the mechas were also hand drawn, which is a rarity in modern mecha anime. Let's hope that continues. Obviously, we'll give you more details on that as it comes, because that looks really interesting to me. Moving on to an original series, which was originally meant to come out in October of 2020, but obviously was pushed back. Is now releasing in April 2021, called To Your Eternity. This looks really strange.
Yeah, that's to say the least, yeah.
But it looks very wholesome. It's about a kid who befriends I think it's a wolf or a dog, and again, we don't know much about the plot, but the anime sort of focuses around them bonding and learning about each other and stuff. The dog is a normal dog, it's not like Beastars or anything.
It doesn't just start dancing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, the dog's a normal dog.
Yeah.
But apparently, I haven't read the manga, but it's gotten very, very good, a lot of praise for the people who have read it. So I'm sort of excited for this anime. It looks interesting at the very least. So I'll probably...
That's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the art style again looks very good. Moving on to an anime which I know you're excited for, Dan.
Oh yes.
Based on the ongoing webcomic, is a comedy anime. Please Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro, or Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, or whatever title you wanna call it by. Dropping in April again. This actually looks really good.
It's hilarious. The manga's hilarious. I hope they do it justice in the anime.
Yes.
I hope. I just hope.
I love how Nagatoro herself looks in the visuals we've gotten, and her voice actor sounds really cool.
She does.
Yeah, this is coming out in April. At the very least, it's going to be a really fun high school anime. Yeah.
Yeah, just all it is. Can't wait to see the president of the art club.
Oh god, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to say the least. Moving on to another original series, based off the multi-billion dollar film franchise that is being Godzilla Singular Point. So we don't know much about this, except for the fact that it's obviously going to be an improvement on the ongoing Godzilla anime series.
I wonder.
The art style looks very unique again. Seems to be more character focused than monster focused. Kind of like
from Bones?
I believe it's from Bones.
Yeah, I thought I saw that. Yeah.
Yes, Bones obviously makers of My Hero Academia, which for all the how trashy it is as an anime, has got a good art style.
Yeah, I enjoy the art style at
Yeah.
least.
So Godzilla Singular Point also dropped in April. I can't wait for that. I know you're a huge Godzilla fan already, Dan.
Yeah.
And I'm slowly and slowly becoming more like sucking into the vortex.
Exactly. Joining me in the void.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to a game adaptation, a video game, a Nintendo DS game.
Of all games.
Of all games, which I've never actually played this one. The World Ends With You, the anime, also dropping in April. So this is a JRPG. Well, the game was a JRPG, which focuses around. It's a pretty simple plot. He wakes up in an abandoned shopping center, and he has a text message from a group called the Reapers, and he has to fulfill quests and do stuff before the time runs out, or the Reapers will kill him. It looks fairly good. The art style of the anime mirrors the game exactly, although obviously upgraded to newer graphics. The World Ends With You, I think, was also remastered for the Switch recently. I'm not sure.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. And the anime drops in April.
It's called The World Ends With You Final Remix.
Yes. There's been a lot of buzz around this anime. I'm not really part of it because I haven't played the game, but at the very least it looks cool. And
I was gonna say I'd go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I might pick up the game at some point as well.
Oh really? The game?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I have no clue about the game, but it definitely entices me with the very unique art style.
Yes, yeah, which is like I say, it's directly from the game.
Yeah, it reminds me of Kingdom Hearts cover art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of as well the first time I saw it.
Is that Sora Kingdom Hearts?
Sora for Smash. Yeah. As if. Moving on to an anime dropping in May, and is our final pick for our good spring 2021 anime, called Eden, which is another Netflix anime. It's an ONA, so it's only going to be one series. It's going to be a limited run. Focusing on two robots. It's set in the far future, when humanity has been wiped out, and it focuses on two robots as they try and raise the final human child. It looks weird. Again, we know nothing about it other than that very simple plot, so we don't know if it's going to be more comedy or slice of life or whatever. But the art style, at least, is sort of a more kind of like Beastars, where it's like 3D cel shaded. It looks okay. It looks interesting. So that's everything for spring 2021, and as we move further into the year, we get less and less confirmed releases. Like I said before, anime sort of releases on more of a short-term basis. So again, we'll know more about summer and autumn 2021 as the series are announced later on in the year. But for summer 2021, we do have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2 Part 2 dropping in summer. So that's probably going to be the last 12 episodes of Season 2. We don't really know. Also dropping in July, we know this, by Studio Mappa, who are currently animating Attack on Titan Season 4. Edatan Deities in the Peaceful Generation. This show looks really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fantasy anime set after a great demon war that lasted thousands of years, and the demons lost, and it's we don't really know much more about that. I know there is a manga that is above average reviews, nothing amazing. But with Mappa, Mappa is a studio I have a lot of trust in, and from the trailer, it looks very lively, very fun. Although it does seem to be going for a more serious tone, the animation certainly looks really, really lively. So that's all we've got so far for summer 2021. We've got even less for fall 2021. Only one show that has been announced that we think looks any good. Taisho Maiden Fairy Tale. Very basic plot line. There's the son of a wealthy family, and he's down bad. You know, he's a failure. He's like in his mid-20s. He gets kicked out of his house because he's a failure and he can't get a job and such. And so his family hire a maid to take care of him and stuff. And it's sort of a romance that blossoms between the two of them. It looks pretty fun. The art style looks very cool, I would say. It's sort of a more like painting type art style. Yeah. So that is all the anime we've got confirmed release dates for. And we've got a few here that look good, but haven't got a release date. It's very likely they'll be releasing in 2021. Some of them maybe. Obviously, this is all subject to change. Maybe releasing in early 2022, but I doubt this. So, moving on to Uzumaki, the anime adaptation of Junji Ito's magnum opus. Junji Ito, the master of Japanese horror. Not just in my opinion, you know, ask anyone. Uzumaki is going to be a series of short episodes, like 5 or 6 minutes long. Going to be in the art style of the manga. Instead of using storyboards for this show, they just use pages from the manga. So you know it's being faithful.
So cool.
Yeah. Can't wait for this. There's like a short 30 or 40 second teaser, which has a few stills. Looks very cool. Great. Stay tuned for that. Also coming out 2021, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid Season 2. It's finally coming, boys. It's finally here.
Finally.
Being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But we've got a 2021 release date locked in. My guess it will be more mid-year to end year. Or else we would have heard something else about it. But yeah, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Hilarious. If you haven't seen Season 1, go and watch it. Don't watch the dub. Yeah. Also, coming back after more than nearly 10 years, I think. Bleach is coming back.
Where did you come from?
Bleach is coming back this year with the 1,000-year Blood War arc, which is an amazing arc in the manga. So Bleach is getting revived, I guess. It sort of looks like it's doing a bit of a Dragon Ball Super move, where it's coming back with a new art style, but with the same voice actors. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, that was random.
Let's hope it's a Broly movie rather than a Zeta Super.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Also coming back after this franchise never really went anywhere, but many years after the main series has finished, Code Geass Z of the Recapture. Okay. Once again, we know nothing about this other than it will be a series focused in the mainline Code Geass universe, so it won't be focused in the OVA universe. Again, we know nothing about that. Let's hope it's good. I know the movie has gotten mixed reviews. I personally didn't really like it that much. But yeah,
I know you like Code Geass.
I love Code Geass, yeah. But the movie was just a bit unneeded in my opinion. So, but this series, Z of the Recapture, apparently is focusing on a completely different character than the Lelouch, and is going in a completely different direction. So we'll see how that goes. Also, a sequel to, I believe, the 2017 detective anime, Be the Beginning, Succession. Be the Beginning, another sleeper hit. This anime is underrated as hell. Netflix anime. So well animated. It's by Production IG, which did the first 3 series of Attack on Titan.
Oh wow!
Brilliant. Production IG are returning for this series. And yes, I was really hoping for this. This has only just been announced, so I'm really happy because I've always wanted a season 2 because, you know, it left on quite a bit of a cliffhanger season 1. And when season 2 wasn't announced, immediately, as most Netflix shows do, I was a bit worried. But yeah, season 2's coming out, and I'm really hyped for it. Quite a different anime now. The Way of the House Husband.
This looks hilarious.
Yes, yeah. Based on the comedy manga, the manga has gotten rave reviews. Apparently, it's one of the funniest comedy from the last 10 years. The anime again looks hilarious, and I cannot wait for this to come out. Moving on to Tokyo Revengers, which is a time travel story. It's a time travel mob story, which this guy sees his ex-girlfriend is shot down by mobsters or something.
Jeez.
Yes, and he has the chance to go back in time and save her. and it's it's more of a it's like a love story, time travel type thing. Looks similar to Erased in a lot of ways, and that's not a bad thing. I can't wait for that.
Cool.
Our last pick of the series that you should be looking out for in 2021. This has no release date, but it is confirmed for 2021. Chainsaw Man, the anime.
There he is, boys.
Let's go, boys. Without a doubt, I feel confident in saying this. The top manga of 2020 is
It's so fucking good.
yeah, it's being adapted into an anime by Studio Mappa, which again I'm really excited for. And yeah, we know nothing about the anime, but we know that the mangaka is on board as a writer, so it's gonna stick to the story, which is great, and I just can't wait to see Chainsaw Man in an anime form. So obviously more about that as it comes. That's it for our anime series, and I just want to give a quick shout out to the best anime movies which are coming out. Gintama the Final, obviously, like it says, the final Gintama movie from
Oh, big rip.
the gigantic franchise. Yeah, big rip. Gintama is absolutely amazing. The movie drops on January the 8th. Go and check that out. It's on Crunchyroll. Dropping in cinemas, and I think on Crunchyroll, on January the 23rd, is the final Evangelion movie. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time, or just Evangelion 3, Bye Bye All of Evangelion. The alternate title.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So screenings have already happened in IMAX cinemas for this movie. Apparently it's absolutely brilliant. So I for one can't wait. Yep. The Evangelion movies have always got high reviews though. They are great.
True.
And I can't wait for this. Hopefully it's a good swan song for the franchise that has been going strong since the 90s. Yeah. A cool little original movie coming on March the 19th is Pompo the Cinephile, which focuses on Pompo. She is a film producer. Well, she's a director, and it focuses on her and her producer as they try and get a major release in their version of Hollywood, which is Nollywood.
It looks funny.
Yeah, it looks great. The art style again looks absolutely amazing. It's animated by the people who drew the manga, so
what better way to like be true to your source?
Yeah, so I can't wait for that. Pompo the Cinephile looks very, very funny.
The Pompo the pedophile.
No. Coming out in early 2021 in the West. It's already out in Japan now and has gotten massive rave reviews. It's already the highest grossing movie of Japan box office history, beating Your Name and Spirited Away, which held the other two spots. Demon Slayer movie, Mugen Train. I know nothing about this, but I'm not the greatest fan of the Demon Slayer anime. But if the movie's gotten these big reviews and it's gotten this massive big box office record, beating even Your Name, I've got to check it out. You know what I mean?
You have to,
Yeah, I have to. So that's coming in the to the West in early 2021 on Crunchyroll, and we'll see how that goes. So that does it for the best anime of 2021. Everything you should be looking out for, mainly from the first half of the year, but there's a lot to be looking out for. With the shows with no release date, we'll keep you updated on them as more info comes in, especially Chainsaw Man, because I know both of us are super hyped for that.
Oh yeah.
So now, for everything good, there must be a bad. So we're going to be talking about, very quickly, the anime you need to avoid in 2020. The anime shows that are coming out which look awful. So, jumping straight in, winter 2021, starting on January the 4th, so extremely soon, is the fantasy isekai / whatever. Suppose a kid from the last dungeon moved to a starter town. Now, I was pulled in by the title, but it just looks like your standard fantasy anime. There's a kid who's really overpowered because he grows up in the boss battle town, the boss battle.
Yeah.
He grows up in a town which is like right next to the dungeon where the boss lives, so he's really powerful. And then he moves to the starter town where everyone is obviously low level. Yeah, it just looks your standard overpowered protagonist anime.
Yeah, and then he goes back. And
Yeah.
he just like, oh, he gets all the girls, he's so strong, but then he's probably really like like incompetent with his like feelings.
Yeah, something. Yeah, you know how it goes with fantasy anime.
Yeah.
It'll be like that. A show which looks a little bit better, but I still probably won't give it a watch, is Jobless Reincarnation, which again is an isekai. Drops on January the 10th. Focuses on an office, your generic office worker who she suddenly dies one day from overworking, and she is reincarnated in this fantasy world, and she's like determined to have fun now because she doesn't have a job and she has no responsibilities and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks, yeah. I'll probably watch the first 1 or 2 episodes and see if it grabs me.
See how it is.
Moving on to something which drops on Valentine's Day. So this is our last winter 2021 pick. Vlad Love, which is a vampire love story, which if you took the vampires out of it, there would really be nothing keeping me here. It just looks pretty boring and standard and nothing special. Don't waste your time on this. All of the episodes drop on February the 14th, but even then, that's not really incentive. So that's everything for winter 2021. On to spring 2021. Dropping on March 27th. My Hero Academia Season 5.
Boo!
Yeah, boo!
Nobody cares.
No one cares. And even, like, I'm reading the manga, which is a lot better than the anime, by the way, but it's still not great. Season 5, the part they're adapting, is just pretty much a training arc. So it's going to be even more boring than the good art.
Deku's now going to be able to walk on air instead of walls because of the weird science in it. Fuck off.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Moving on, we've got another vampire story.
Why so many vampires?
I know. Dropping in
Why
April.
so many fantasy stuff?
Dropping in April. Mars Red. Vampire story about.
Looks boring.
Yeah, it just looks boring. Moving on to another one dropping in April is Cestvus, the Roman fighter. Now, I'm grabbed by the art style in this, but that's really all I can say. The art style looks pretty fun, but it just looks like your generic period piece. Like, it looks like Gladiator, but if it was an anime and stretched out to like 8 hours over 12 or 16 episodes.
Yeah.
So
it's like the art style feels too much like what's that anime called? Like just a bad 3D animation, but that like just for some reason they just change it to 3D from 2D.
Berserk or Ruby?
Yes, Berserk.
Yeah,
it just feels like Berserk. No, because Ruby at least they improved on that. Berserk, like it just feels like old Berserk, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
It's like comparative to the good anime with 3D animation that's coming out and Beastars, it's like why?
Yeah. Why would you even? Yeah. Why would you watch this?
Exactly.
Moving on, also in spring is It's Too Sick to Call This Love Koikimo, which is a very, very dodgy looking anime. About a salaryman in his 30s falling for a high school girl. There's, there are anime like After the Rain, which actually handle this in like a very like respectful and non-creepy manner, but this doesn't
the
look
cover
like,
art.
Yeah, this doesn't look like
the manga.
Yeah,
even for the manga, they just like don't. It looks like your generic goddamn romance manga.
Except it's between a fully grown man and a high school girl.
Exactly. So I just stay away from it unless you want to be like knocked on the door by the FBI.
Exactly. Yeah. Moving on to another spring anime, another fantasy, which again pulled me in with the title because it's just such a strange premise.
But the animation, I think, looks poor.
Yes, exactly. Dragon Goes House Hunting. is dropping in April.
You know, I originally read it as Dragon Goes Goose Hunting. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with geese?
What? I would watch that anime over this one in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
Yeah, again, it's pretty much what it says in the title. Dragon Goes House Hunting, but stretched over 12 episodes. It just looks boring.
Yeah.
And our final spring anime release that you should avoid is a JoJo OVA series, which has been going on for a while, but this is the official sort of serialization of it. So they're not just coming out like as singular things anymore, they're coming out as a series. Thus spoke Kishibe Rohan. The Rohan OVA series, which is infamously terrible among JoJo fans, is getting a serialized release in April. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling this one. I've seen 2 of the 3 OVAs that are already out, and I'm just not a fan of the art style or the different voice acting or anything like that. Not a fan. Moving on to summer 2021, there is only one anime in here, and I just had to put it in because of how much I despise it. You might have heard me talk about my worst isekai of 2020 being I'm Standing on 1 Million Lives. Well, guess what, everyone? July brings us season 2 of this god-awful show. No, I haven't even looked at anything about this. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. The first one has scarred me because of how boring it is, and the title doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Where are the million lives? Who are the million lives? We're never told. It's never.
Wouldn't it be million people, not lives?
Yeah. It's just Does
that mean he's immortal?
Watch our watch our previous episode if you want to hear me break down about that show. So again, once more, that's it for the seasons of the anime you should avoid. Moving on to the anime without a set release date. Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2, an anime very divisive among the fans.
Yeah, actually, I've heard people do like it, but some people don't. So
I don't, because the main character is a dick. And it's sort of like my problem with Meliodas in Seven Deadly Sins, where he's never sort of like called out for being weird by the other characters. It's sort of just accepted. Except instead of just being like a pervert, he's also like a misogynist, and he's just rude, and it's not fun to watch. The action as well, the animation is very poor, in my opinion. Season 2 is coming out. Just
Think what you will. You decide on this one.
Yeah, it's up to you. I personally don't like it, but it's up to you.
To each their own.
Yeah. Spriggan, an anime.
That's it.
Yeah.
Spriggan,
a remake of the early 2000s anime. About, I think it's something like Noah's Ark is uncovered in Turkey, and the show chronicles like the different people who want to get it. It just looks boring, and the animation, it looks like some of the worst of the year in my opinion.
I mean, it is a Netflix one.
Also a Netflix anime.
A Netflix 3D animation.
Think JoJo really Part 1 opening, but an entire series in that art style. No, thank you.
Sorta.
Also, no release date is I shaved, then I brought a high school girl home. Pretty much the title says it all in this case.
What does it even mean? Like,
it looks very dodgy. Like a guy in his 20s, getting with a high school girl. Just no thanks. Just keep that away from me. Yeah.
I mean, he did shave, so I guess
he did. Excuse. Yeah, he shaved. Yeah. What can I say?
That gives him an excuse to bring home a high school girl.
Apparently. Yeah. For the trailer as well. The trailer really doesn't do it any justice. They're like flirting with each other, and it just looks odd. Like, keep it away from me.
Just like the other one. I can't remember its name. It's that forgettable.
It's like
It just looks wrong.
It's too sick to call this love. Yes, you got that right. So why did you make an anime about it?
Why'd you make a manga about
Yeah,
it?
exactly. And our final series is probably the one which I am really. This is probably the worst anime of 2020, in my opinion. Do not ever go near this. And again, the title says it all. World's End Harem. Now I don't mind a harem anime, but when the harem is the only focus of the entire show, it's sort of set in a post-apocalyptic world where the main character's only goal is to repopulate the world by having sex with as many people as possible. No, thank you. There's no story at all. It just looks awful. There is no release date for this, and part of me hopes that it never, ever comes out.
At least with interspecies reviewers, there was like an underlying plot.
Yeah, exactly. And stuff like, the Monogatari
Comedy.
series, which is like a softcore harem. But, yeah, at least it's got a brilliant plot.
That's the thing, though. With Monogatari, it's softcore because the main character's dating.
Yeah, exactly.
It's even a harem.
Yeah. Yeah, so there are all the shows, all the anime shows, do not get near any of these, especially I Shaved, Then I Brought a High School Girl Home. And there are just a few anime movies coming out that you shouldn't watch. Detective Conan movie or Case Closed movie, The Scarlet Bullet. I am a fan of Case Closed, alright? I think it's a good show. I think it's a good manga. It should not be going. It should not still be going for this long. Okay, it's
How long is it going for?
like since the early 90s.
What the fuck?
It's a very simple plot. They've dragged it out and they're still dragging it out. I wasn't even aware the show was still going, but the show is going, and not only is the show still going, there's a movie coming out. So, yeah. And from the trailer, it looks just as boring as I thought it was going to be.
You can say that, to be honest, you can say the same about One Piece and Dragon Ball.
I mean, at least with One Piece and Dragon Ball, they, innovate things. They have new... They open it up to new places.
Oh, it's Goku, but he's stronger.
And it works. It works.
Yeah. Yeah.
A movie coming out from my least favorite anime of all time, Sword Art Online.
Whoa!
The aria of The Night Without Stars is gonna be god awful because it's adapting an entire manga series into one movie.
How do you do that?
Yeah, why would you do that? It's gonna be great.
Why and how?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. No, it's not. And I've seen online on social media, not even the hardcore Sword Art Online stans are excited for this. Yeah. Also coming out in the summer is the as yet untitled My Hero Academia Movie 3. Now, the movies for My Hero have been average when the entirety of the anime has been trash. So, I may or may not watch this. I probably won't.
I won't even get near it.
Yeah. But yeah, My Hero Academia Movie 3 coming out in summer. Movie 2 was actually pretty cool, in my opinion. But, the anime is still trash. But
Deku is still a fucking awful character.
yeah, Deku is still the worst character in the history of anime. Not even just the worst protagonist, the worst character.
I don't know. The main character from I Shaved and I Brought Home a High School Girl sounds pretty sus. So
I don't know. We'll have to see when it eventually comes out. Yeah. So that is every single anime show, every single confirmed anime show so far coming out in 2021. Some of the ones you should watch, some of the ones you really should watch, some of the ones you shouldn't watch, some of the ones you really shouldn't watch. World's End Harem, I'm looking at you. But yeah.
I'm looking at you, Shave Man.
Shave Man. But yes. Winter especially looks completely stacked with good anime. I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah. I mean, it's great because I'm getting all this shit for my birthday, so
yeah,
I get to
exactly. Yeah,
it's great.
Moving swiftly on to the games section, the best video games coming out in 2021.
Now this is what I'm hyped about properly, like the most for the good ones.
Yes, there are so many good games coming out in 2021. So, like I said at the start, we're doing this one in month order instead of seasonal. So, kicking it straight off, good games, January 2021. Coming out on January the 14th for every console, even Stadia.
What?
Yep.
Stadia?
Yep.
Is that even like what?
Yep. Well, you know, it is an 8-bit game, so you know it's probably going to test the Stadia's hardware to the limit.
15 frames per second.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, complete edition.
Oh yes.
One of the best movies in my opinion of all time.
It's a
Spawned
great movie.
an amazing game, like a side-scrolling beat-em-up genre game, and it's coming to all consoles with a remastered graphics with loads more content apparently, and yeah, if you haven't played the original, go check it out, and yeah, there are loads of characters coming in the complete edition, where I believe you could only get 3 or 4 in the original, but there are tons now. Yeah,
Nice.
That's coming out January the 14th. I'm hyped for that. Or January the 20th, also all consoles, but not Stadia. What a surprise. Because it is an open world game, Stadia will not be able to run that.
It can't even run fighting games.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, oh
We
my
saw
god.
that. It ran at like 10 frames
Don't
per
even
second.
talk to me about Samurai Showdown on Stadia, that is hilarious.
Like, the game's great, but
Yeah.
why Stadia? Why?
It also has like a really high ceiling on PC as well for some reason. Hitman 3 coming out on January the 20th. Yes. Just give me more Hitman. I love the new Hitman games.
Yeah.
1 and 2 are great. 3 looks like it's going to be more of the same, but with new locations. Looks great. New ways to kill, obviously new disguises. But you know, I'm always going to go with the Killer Chef.
Better graphics.
Yeah, better graphics. The graphics
What
look
about the
amazing.
Killer Flamingo?
The Killer Flamingo. The homing briefcase better be back in this one as well.
Oh, one of my favorite videos of all time.
Yeah.
The homing briefcase.
Yes, Hitman 3, gonna be great. January 28th, coming to PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One. The Medium looks...
This looks so
Yes.
fucking cool.
Yes, by the creator of Silent Hill. The Medium is a horror game which is played in 2 dimensions, like the normal world and like the shadow demon world or whatever.
The Shadow World.
The Shadow Realm.
Realm, there it is. I can't remember what the
Looks
what the saying is.
super cool. The graphics look great.
I'm a sucker for like psychological horror,
Yeah.
so this is gonna be fucking cool. I'm gonna love
Yeah.
this, and like so close to my birthday, definitely gonna cop that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
As well as
yeah,
this next game coming out on the same day.
the same
Oh,
day
collection.
coming to PC and Xbox One, but weirdly not Xbox Series X, although you can just play it with backwards compatibility, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
The Yakuza Remastered Collection.
Holy
yes.
shit! Yakuza games, amazing.
Games
Yeah,
1 to 4 of the Yakuza series in a single bundle with upgraded graphics, with control fixes. It's not just a port, cough cough, Mario All-Stars. It's actually remastered, and you get to keep it forever, which is great. Yes, Yakuza games have always been amazing. Well,
Yep.
there have been a few dips, but for the most part, they've always been amazing. And I can't
Yeah,
wait for the remastered collection.
The good ones are great.
Yeah, and 1 to 4 are certainly some of the good ones.
Zero as well.
Yes, 0, yeah. Like a Dragon just came out as well. I've heard that's amazing.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that one sounds really good. As
Yeah.
well, yeah.
And I've seen people play the Yakuza games, but I've never actually touched one of the games before. So you can
Same.
bet I'll be jumping right on this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to February. Straight into February the 2nd, Outriders. This game looks super unique, and it looks super cool. Very gory sort of shooter game. It looks to be a class-based shooter, coming out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox X, and Xbox One. So everything except Switch and Stadia.
I mean, from the looks of the game, it doesn't seem they'd be able to run it quite so well.
And that's why, with Hitman 3 is coming out for the Switch also. So
How?
yeah,
How?
I'm very interested
How?
to see how the hell they're gonna run that.
Yeah. Lots of third-person things coming out.
Yeah.
Decent, yeah.
Yeah. Outriders looks really cool. I think.
Yeah.
It's all about rejecting your humanity.
Dope.
I'm not gonna.
Jojo.
And sort of stepping into your new powers, like your mutant powers and stuff. It looks to be a decent amount of different classes. Yeah, I'm hyped for this. Outriders.
I will say, the main guy does look like the black guy from Detroit Become Human. I will say,
Yeah.
but like an older, grislier version. But other than that, game looks chill. Game looks pretty cool.
Game looks cool. Looks to be a massively online multiplayer as well. So
I love that. What I love in games, like in open world, big multiplayer games, like I wish more had, was just like a hub world.
Yeah,
like, a bit like Monster Hunter,
and
Destiny.
Destiny. I was just gonna say. Yeah.
I like when they do that. Definitely more open world games should have that. Looking at you, Cyberpunk. When's that multiplayer update coming?
Well, it's coming.
Actually, no. Wait a minute. First fix the game. Then worry about
first finish the game and then give us the update.
Finish the game, yeah.
Yeah. Also coming out February the 5th for PS5, PS5 exclusive, the Neo Collection.
Oh.
Yeah, boy.
Yet another great collection that's going to come up.
Neo Definitely. 1 and 2 bundled together. February the 5th. Gonna be great. Neo is a great game on its own.
Neo 2 is just as good.
Yeah.
Maybe even better because of the changes they made.
Yeah.
Just play the game. Play them. They're great. They're literally Japanese Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so good. Just Dark Souls is great. It is a literal Souls-like.
Yeah.
This is the one time I will say that something that is a Souls-like is actually a Souls-like, because it is.
It's the Dark Souls of Souls-like games.
Fuck off. It's the... What does it mean anything?
February 11th, we're skipping 6 days, Little Nightmares 2 is
oh my god.
coming out February 11th. Can't wait. Little Nightmares 1, one of the best horror games of the past few years.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's great.
This game is coming out on every console except Stadia once again.
Why did they even bother?
Why? Yeah, I know.
But yeah, this Little Nightmares 2 trailer came out, like
the
a
trailer
proper one.
Oof.
God,
I'm gonna be...
It like takes everything from the first game and just makes it look better. With like multiplayer now as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Gonna be great.
We're definitely gonna play that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Definitely. Especially with the multiplayer as well. We're gonna be straight on that.
But yeah, let's see if it's online or just local. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'd imagine if it's coming out on, I believe it's coming out on Steam. It may be coming out on Epic, I'm not sure. But if it comes out on Steam, I'd imagine they'd allow like a friends invite type thing.
But no, as I think, if it's out on Steam, then you can play it through local play. If it doesn't have online.
They can. I forgot Steam had that.
So yeah, it doesn't matter if it's not online, if it's on Steam, so you can play it together anyway. Yeah, that's perfect.
We'll see. Little Nightmares 2 anyway, looks great. Definitely recommend the first one if you're a fan of horror games that sort of break the mold a little bit. Very unique.
It actually has like a really cool, like ambiguous story.
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening. You're thrown into this shit.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And it's DLC as well. It's just as cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It actually expands on the story.
Yeah.
Big spoilers. Don't want to say anything else, but it's really cool.
Yeah, it is, definitely. February 23rd. It's
big one for you, I know this.
It's finally here. Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers. Yes, and yes, please.
Not the game though, not the actual game.
Not Persona 5 actual. That is still a PS3 and 4 exclusive. But
PS3 exclusive.
Persona 5 The Phantom Strikers is coming to PC, PS4, and Nintendo Switch on February the 23rd. It's already out in Japan. I've seen the gameplay. It looks brilliant. It's a hack and slash similar to, Hyrule Warriors, a game which I love also. But with Persona characters. Cannot wait for this. Gonna be great.
What more could you want, Mason?
Yeah, what more? It's the perfect game. I'm so hyped for this, and all we need to make it better is an actual port of Persona 5, the real game. But
maybe even Royal, if they're nice enough.
yeah, Royal. We've got to wait until at least 2033 for that.
You're giving them that much time? God, maybe try 2050.
Yeah. So, Persona 5 Phantom Strikers, definitely look up some gameplay of that. If it seems like your thing, get on Steam. Pre-order it. Gonna be great.
Yeah.
Switch exclusive now, February 26th. This game has been coming out for a while. It's been pushed back, but it's finally gotten a February 26th release date. The RPG, Bravely Default 2. Bravely Default 1 is pretty old now. But it's a very, very good RPG.
Yeah.
Incredibly good. And Bravely Default 2 just looks like it's going to expand on that. I've never really been a fan of the series, but my interest has been piqued by this. And, yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Trials of Mana meets Dragon Quest meets Chibi.
Yes, I was thinking Trials of Mana. Yeah. Trials of Mana are also a good game.
Oh yeah, no, and it's like HD version.
Yeah.
Get it, man. It's fucking cool.
Bravely Default 2 is one to watch, definitely. February 26th. Switch exclusive.
Of course. Why would it be anything else?
The best console to have exclusives for.
Only the best console, period.
Moving into March, we have a remake of the classic game, which I played to death on my DS.
Oh my god, yes.
Which is just not the complete form of the game because it was on PS3. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake is coming on March the 18th. Looks so good. Cannot wait for this. Coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So it's also coming to PS5 and Series X. Because of backwards compatibility. Looks great. That's all I can really say about it. It is a remaster, technically, not a remake. Although it is called a remake, there are no actual additions or changes to the actual gameplay. It is a graphics update. But it looks great anyway. The base game is great. And
reminds me a bit of the newer Assassin's Creed game,
yes.
which I've heard from an outside source.
Yeah.
That Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the story is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard that. Heard that also. And I'm currently playing Odyssey right now. And yeah, the new style of games is it's pretty good.
Nice. I do like the mechanic it has in Prince of Persia as well. The rewind time's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, very cool. We didn't get that on the DS version.
I wonder why. Because it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
it probably crashed the entire. It made the fucking DS explode.
It's like trying to run Cyberpunk on a Switch.
Impossible.
1 day later, on March 19th, comes a PS5 exclusive, Returnal. This was announced. I think. Yeah, it was announced back in September, I think, or something like that, at the State of Play showcase. Looks very cool. Looks interesting about a woman who is stranded on an alien planet, and she keeps replaying the same sequence of events over and over again.
They weren't scared to show off gameplay.
Yes, the gameplay looks amazing. It's like a third-person shooter type thing.
Its effects look pretty cool.
Yeah,
I will say. I'm like the one thing I'm scared of it doing is being too in your face.
Yes.
That's the only problem I think it may have, but I'm hoping it goes against my worries.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah. PS5 exclusive. Moving on to also on March 19th, releasing on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X. Again, everything except Switch and Stadia.
I'm sorry, I just keep ripping into it, but how is a Stadia worse than a fucking tablet?
I know.
Like a glorified tablet.
Because it's not a console, Dan, it's a streaming box. It Takes Two, releasing on March 19th for those consoles I just said. Looks very unique. Very, very unique.
Looks cute.
Yeah, it looks very cute. It sort of focuses on these sort of yarn people similar to Unravel, sort of yarn people.
Yeah, puppets.
Yeah, puppets, but they're actual people who have been made into puppets, and they're sort of.
So it's an isekai.
It's technically an isekai, I guess, but sort of they have a broken marriage or something, and then they're put into this massive obstacle course, and along the way, they're like made to make up and repair their relationship and stuff like that. It looks very strange, but it looks great.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah,
interesting.
no, like, yeah, visuals look like amazing.
Yeah.
And its gameplay actually looks really fun. So I'm definitely hyped for this, and it looks multiplayer. So
yeah, it is co-op
definitely
multiplayer like Unraveled, like 2-player
We're
puzzles, stuff like that.
definitely gonna give this a go.
Yes, and it was
If I
made
ever
with
get
made with
played
motion
with it.
capture. Made with motion capture as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why the
That's
movements look so
impressive.
fluid and stuff, because it's an actual guy.
So, it is made by EA though, so let's hope.
Let's hope, yeah. Let's hope we don't get half the game. April.
Yeah, no, I have to pay for the rest.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to April. 2 games here, which both of us are extremely hyped for.
Oh yes, oh yes.
April
Oh.
the 9th, and the deluxe edition of this game, strangely, is releasing on April the 6th. But the base game is releasing on April the 9th for PC, PS5, and PS4.
Bye Xbox.
See ya, Xbox, you never had a chance. Guilty Gear Strive. Oh yeah.
The smell of the game.
The
It
hardest of hard rock fighting games. Getting a new
Yeah.
installment. April the 9th. 15
Yeah.
characters in the base roster with more to come as DLC. I cannot wait for this. Obviously, made by Arc System Works, creators of Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is my favourite fighting game ever. Makers of Guilty Gear Xrd, which is, again, an amazing game. Just, yeah.
Granblue Fantasy versus.
Granblue Fantasy versus brilliant game for the PS4.
Is it Uniclear? I believe the name is.
Yeah, Uniclear, and also Under Night in Birth. Just
Under Night in Birth.
Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
Just great,
Yeah.
just great fighting games. Just great.
It's
Fighting
like
games.
they have such a very different styles of art.
Yeah.
And so they can do it very well. Like this new Strive game, whew,
Yeah.
it tops it. It's like Xrd looked great for the time.
I know.
And so did Fighters. Fighters only came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Only 3 technically now, and
Yeah.
it still looks great. But this, however, this
blows it straight out of the
series.
water. Yeah.
I cannot wait to see how the story looks like, because the story will look cool. The
Yeah.
story will look really good.
So Guilty
Like,
Gear Strive, mark it. April the 9th. Cannot wait for this.
Exactly.
Originally meant to come out in 2020, but it was delayed because of the corona pandemic. But that's actually a good thing, because now it's releasing on PS5 when it originally wasn't. So they've got that time to spruce it up into a next gen version.
Even it already looks like it, but
Yeah, exactly. Also coming out in April 23rd, Nier Replicant, the remake. And this one is a remake. It looks like a very different game, but on
it
the
looks so cool.
yes.
Like
yeah.
the gameplay,
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
they got Nier Automata gameplay, which is one of my favorite games of all time,
Yeah.
and just made it somehow look both visually and feel better.
Yeah.
Like the Nier's swordplay, technically, if you would call it that, it's super cool. But now you've got spells. It
Mhm.
it already looks amazing.
Yeah, Nier Replicant is pre-orders are already open on Steam. It's coming out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Yes, get it. It's great. If you're not really well versed in Nier, which I know a lot of people aren't really, it's
Don't
not
bother
as big as it was. Yeah, it's not as big as it was. But definitely check out Automata. It is a brilliant game. Yeah, Nier Replicant remake looks great. Also coming out in April, but no solid release date yet, but it is coming out in April. For PC and Nintendo Switch is a cute little game called Hoa.
It looks really cute.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. It looks cute.
Yeah, it looks like a 2D platformer, right?
Yeah, and it's sort of
Yeah.
like a sort of painted art style.
Yeah,
Very
it looks
nice.
it looks really cute.
And yeah, it'll probably be one of those little things you spend with your leftover Steam wallet points, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks very cute. That's coming out in April. May, only one big game coming out in May. That being on May 21st for PC and PS5. That being Deathloop. Oh yes.
Yep.
Made by
It looks really cool.
Arcane Studios, the creators of Dishonored.
Ooh.
Also published by Bethesda. So, you know, they've worked together before. They worked together on Dishonored.
Which means technically made by Microsoft.
Technically, but it's only coming out on PS5 and PC.
Whoa.
Deathloop looks brilliant. It's a first-person sort of stealth shooter where you are an assassin and you have a target, but either a bot or another player. I believe it's only online, not local, but don't quote me on that. So you have the target, and the other player plays another assassin where their target is you. So you have to kill your target before the other assassin gets to you, and and every time you die, you get sent back to the beginning. So there's a lot of gameplay in the gameplay trailers. There's a lot of things about setting stuff up, and then when you die, you go back to the beginning, and you're in a position where you can activate it, stuff like that. It looks interesting. It's by Arcane, which I love. Yeah, May 21st. Definitely check it out. Check out some gameplay if you're not sure, but it looks very cool. June, coming out, Back 4 Blood. June 22nd. The closed alpha has just finished at the end of last year. Going out for PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. By the creators of Left 4 Dead. It's another zombie horde shooter, gore fest, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely amazing. I played the alpha. Absolutely loved it. Like, honestly, if they released the alpha right now, and, you know, obviously got rid of the infamous ladder glitch. Yeah, the ladder that instantly kills you if you try and go down it. But if they got rid of that, and they released the game, like, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's already very polished, and if it's coming out in June, like, it's gonna be very cool.
Yeah.
And
Give us a beta. Just give us a beta.
give us a beta. Yeah.
I'm so sad that I missed out on the alpha.
Yeah. The alpha was something else. I haven't played Left 4 Dead for a very long while, and even then
I never played it.
Yeah,
I've never had the
I didn't
chance.
really play it that much. But yeah, this looks absolutely amazing. So those are all the games with confirmed release dates. I know it's from the first half of this year, but once again, we'll get more release date info about games, you know, as the year goes on. It's very early stages at the moment. For these games, no release date, but they are coming out in 2021.
Oh, these are... So most of the games that like are here are like some of the hypest ones, but they just don't have a specific release date.
Yes.
I'm so sad for.
Starting off with something that was originally meant to be a PS5 launch game, but was pushed back, unfortunately. Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart.
Oh.
Wow. What can we really say about this game? This game is famous already for the immense amount of open worlds that it has. It's stretching the PS5 hardware to the limits already.
And it shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it's sad that it didn't come out as a launch title, because Ratchet and Clank has always been a launch title for PlayStation. But
Oh yeah.
you know,
what can we do in these uncertain times?
Exactly.
I guess, you know?
Exactly. But Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, PS5 exclusive. Look out for the release date on that. Looks amazing. Also looking amazing is in more ways than one is a PC and Nintendo Switch game, which looks very strange, called Boyfriend Dungeon. Now, we've heard of E-Boys and we've heard of Cat Boys, but have we heard of Sword Boys?
Sword Boys, yes.
And so Boyfriend Dungeon is pretty much a fun little dungeon crawler crossed with a dating simulator. So you meet different hot boys like throughout the different points in the story, and when you seduce them or, you know, ensnare them, they become weapons for you to use in the dungeon crawling segments. And the designs for each of the boys so far that have been released look very, very cool, as do the weapons they turn into. It just looks like a very weird but hilarious game. And I don't usually like dating sims, but, you know, if it's going to be crossed with a dungeon crawler, it's going to make for some very interesting playing. So yeah, PC, Nintendo Switch. Also coming out on PC and PS5. It's going to be a timed exclusive on PS5. But then sometime after release, it will be released on PC also. Ghostwire Tokyo.
The noodle.
The noodle. We love the noodle. I remember me and Dan both went crazy about the noodles when the first cinematic came out because they looked just real.
Why do they look so good?
Yeah.
Why do they look so real?
The noodle. Ghostwire Tokyo is going to be like a first-person action game set obviously in Tokyo, and it's sort of from what we've seen, the general gist of the plot is something like the city's been taken over by like evil spirits, drawing heavily on Japanese folklore. Looks like Doom, but with Japanese spirits. Looks great. I can't wait for this. PS5 and PC, gonna be great. Also gonna be great, PS5, Xbox Series X and PC, the new Resident Evil game.
Ooh,
Resident
yes,
Evil
Village.
8. Village. Resi 7, one of the best horror games ever made. Resi 8 looks like it's gonna blow that out of the water.
It's literally a continuation
Yeah.
of Seven's story, and I love what it's doing with it. They literally went to that village to settle down and just like, get away from everything.
Yeah.
But joke's on them, they wandered into Resident Evil 4.
And again, linking back to Resi 4 as well, my favourite Resi game.
Mm.
Oh god. It's gonna be great. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
The graphics as well. Oh my god. I
love that little. Go on.
I was just gonna say I literally couldn't tell if it was a cinematic or gameplay, and it turns out it was gameplay that I was watching. The graphics look super good. Yes. Moving on to another PS5 exclusive, Horizon Forbidden West, sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which I know didn't get rave reviews when it released on PS4. But since it was ported to PC, they've fixed a lot of the issues. They've added new content, and I'm playing through it right now. I really enjoy it. And I'm hyped for this PS5 exclusive because, yeah, I really like the concept of Horizon. And this just aims to expand the world by the looks of things. A massive, big open world. More animal, robot things, whatever. Yeah. Looks great. On to the games we don't have a release date or platforms for, so we don't know where they're coming out. The long-awaited
6-second long trailer having ass.
George R.R. Martin / From Software collaboration. Elden Ring. Definitely the most hyped game of this year, without a doubt. We don't even know if it's coming out this year, but leaks have suggested very strongly that it will be coming out this year. Obviously not confirmed, but a lot of evidence points to the fact it's coming out this year. Yeah, like Dan said, 6-second long trailer, and everyone's hyped, including me.
Everyone is.
Yeah.
You can't not be. It's finally Elder Scrolls. Like what? Finally.
Yeah. Elden Ring looks great. Can't wait. This is a game, no release date, no gameplay really. There's a few images have been released so far. By Bethesda, made by Bethesda, also published by Bethesda. Starfield, which looks to be a space exploration RPG crafting in the vein of No Man's Sky. Hopefully a much better game on release than No Man's Sky was. It's now a good game. Shame that nobody plays it.
Yeah, it's a shame it took them too long.
Yeah, exactly. Starfield, I personally am very hyped about this. I know Bethesda have had a spotty track record with making their own games. Cough cough, Fallout 76. But yeah. Starfield looks interesting. I can't really say if it looks good or bad so far. But yeah. Now, this is a game not coming out. Well, it will probably come out in 2021. Like with Elden Ring, there have been leaks saying it will be coming out around Christmas 2021, but these are unsubstantiated, and there is less evidence than the Elden Ring leaks.
There is less evidence than like there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's like just like they showed us. Oh, this is how the game will work. Okay, see you in 20 years.
No, there have been a few like tweets, I think, from Blizzard, like one of Blizzard's Twitters from a different country put out a tweet about this game, which was then swiftly deleted. So a lot of people have taken this as truth, but I don't know. I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I'm putting it on this list because I hope it's out in 2021. That being, of course, Overwatch 2. Oh my god. What else? What is there to say about
it? Yeah. Giving it a story.
Exactly.
Finally.
It's Overwatch with a 4-person campaign. So a 4-person co-op campaign, PvE, customizable abilities, and by the looks of things, there's going to be a lot of customization. New skins for each of the characters, and if you don't buy Overwatch 2, you still have access to Overwatch 2 skins and Overwatch 2.
Buy Overwatch 2? I thought if you owned the previous one, then you don't have to do that.
No, you still have to buy it, but if you don't buy it and you just play Overwatch 1, you will get the update, so you'll get the game modes and you'll get the skins. You'll get everything except the story, basically.
Oh.
So you're buying the story for Overwatch 2, and obviously the new graphics, because it will likely be coming out on next-gen consoles. But yeah, we'll see. We will see. Overwatch 2, from the gameplay, looks absolutely amazing. I can't lie.
Yeah. It does. I just hope they fix the multiplayer. I just hope they just fix a few things that I don't like the game about.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, we'll see. Moving on to the games where we have sort of a vague release date. We have a season. That they're coming out in. So, autumn 2021. The sequel to one of the memeiest games of all time.
Our time.
Of our time, yeah. Kerbal Space Program 2 it's releasing in fall, in autumn, on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I haven't personally looked at this very much, but yeah, I enjoyed the first one.
Let's just say I'm very hyped because it's finally getting a sequel.
Yeah.
Finally, after so long, finally getting it.
And and now we have 3 games coming out in winter of 2021. This is a PC exclusive, this first one, from the makers of Black Desert Online, which is a very well-known MMORPG. I personally have never played, but
cool.
For the makers of that comes Crimson Desert. Wow, we saw this at the Game Awards where it was first revealed at the end of last year. This looks amazing, man. Set in Korea. Yeah. It's a big open world action game.
Yeah. There's only a few things I could point out that if they there are only a few things they have to fix.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm pretty sure some of them can be changing the settings. Yeah, exactly. They have a full year for this.
Yeah.
And one of my main problems is the motion blur, which you'll probably be able to turn off.
Exactly.
So one of my problems with it is just instantly gone because I hate motion blur. Everyone hates motion blur.
Everyone hates it. Yeah. Crimson Desert
the mechanics
dropping on PC.
look so cool.
The mechanics, the gameplay looks so sleek. It looks like a more polished version of For Honor, in my opinion.
I would say it's upgraded versions of new Assassin's Creed combat.
Yes, that's a better comparison to make.
Yeah. You're probably thinking of a Godfall for
Honor. I try not to think of Godfall.
We'll get to that.
Oh my god. And moving on to the second winter game coming out on PC and Nintendo Switch. Looks very, very cute, this game. Looks very fun. Mineko's Night Market. I've been hyped for this game since it was announced in 2018. Once again, kept getting pushback. Finally, but then it was revealed that it was getting pushed back because they were working on a PC release. So
How nice of them.
yeah, exactly. This game looks very cute. It's sort of a like a town management sim, like a little bit like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, that sort of thing, with an anime-esque sort of art style. It's 2D.
Yeah.
Looks very good.
Yeah, it does look really cute.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. And I know you can't wait for this one, Dan. PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X, again, everything except Switch and Stadia, coming out in winter 2021, Hogwarts Legacy. Yes.
Super excited for this.
Uh,
It's like, it's literally, forget the third-person shooter Harry Potter game.
I am the one person on Earth which finds enjoyment in that game, but only because of how, like, weird it is. Like,
Yeah, because like what I was doing with Hogwarts Legacy, it looks like it's going back to its roots of like the PS1 and PS2 games,
yeah,
but then just upping the graphics, making it very personal with you having your own character,
yeah.
and it just being in the Harry Potter universe. That's my thing. I don't like J.K. Rowling,
Yeah, no one does.
but I love the universe that she's created.
Yes.
Which is why I
But-
cannot wait.
But Dan, it doesn't have a weapon wheel for spells.
How dare and it doesn't have an option to be non-binary like Call of Duty Cold War. How dare it?
Oh dear. Yeah. Yes, Hogwarts Legacy, I agree. Everything you said, basically. Just the graphics look absolutely amazing. We don't know much about it, but I hope it's going to be great. You basically just play through Harry Potter 1, pretty much. You start in Hogwarts and you... Yeah.
It's it's like a step up from Harry Potter Gmod servers.
Pretty much.
Let's hope it isn't a step down.
Oh god. Yeah, we'll see.
RDM.
I can't. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So, is every good game coming out in 2021. Again, there's a lot of stuff with no release dates, but again, there's a lot of stuff which looks amazing. My best pick for this year, personally, will probably be Guilty Gear Strive or Persona 5 Phantom Strikers.
I got a few, so I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, it's gonna be a decent year for me at least.
Yeah.
Very, very, very excited.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, most of them are the non-release date ones, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But again, for every good there must come bad. But thankfully, there are pretty much no bad games coming out
And
this year.
quite a few are just personal opinions.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, most of them are just, not my kind of game. Again, starting in January, we have the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch game coming out on January 26th. Cyber Shadow. It's a pixelated roguelike MMO platformer. Yeah, it looks pretty basic in my opinion. I will not be spending money on it if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Also coming out January 29th is the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch game. Really weird looking animation 3D game, in my opinion. Gods Will Fall. Not to be confused with the game that came out at the end of last year, Godfall, which was terrible. Gods Will Fall is a sort of like third-person adventure game sort of thing. It looks to be going for a more comedic tone than stuff like God of War, but it's the same basis, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't look like my kind of thing personally, mainly because of the graphics. But that's my opinion. February the 4th, coming out on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. All of those. Again, everything except Stadia and Switch. Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, a werewolf game, which could be good. Could be good. It's a good idea, but the combat, which is the main focus, it's a third-person combat, action game.
So like Vampire.
Yeah, like Vampire. Sort of like Just Cause 3, but without the guns. So any third-person game. It looks boring.
It just looking at it, it just looks like a goddamn Unity game that's trying to rip off the look of Just Cause.
Yeah, it looks boring as hell.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And like, the way that you move like as a wolf, it's like you don't even like the body doesn't move. It just goes on a straight axis. It's like, what do you bother trying?
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also coming out February the 12th, Switch exclusive, is a port of the Wii U game Super Mario 3D World. This is just a port, similar to the 35th anniversary Mario games, except it comes with Bowser's Fury, which is a DLC. No, it's not a DLC. It's a new campaign that's coming with the game. We don't know much about that campaign yet, but yeah, it's a port of a Wii U game, and the game wasn't even that good to begin with. Let's be honest. The graphics haven't been updated. And yeah, I gotta put this on this list because Nintendo. Also coming out in February, no release date yet, but it is coming out in February. Riders Republic, going out on everything except Switch. So
even the Stadia.
Even the Stadia, but not Switch, is a massively multiplayer online to bike riding game. Similar to, if anyone remembers, the Trials games on the Xbox.
Yes, sort of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Well, no, that's the thing. It isn't just biking, though. I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't know. I've only seen a few trailers myself.
It's similar to Steep.
Yes.
I'd say.
But with land.
With added a few different things like. Literally just looks like Steep, but just with bikes now, and like a flying suit instead of a glide suit, it's like an actual flying suit.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's weird.
It's like if you want to play Steep, you'll probably get it for cheaper.
The open world in Steep is actually bigger as well, and in my opinion, it looks better designed.
I enjoyed Steep.
Yeah, I enjoyed Steep as well. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Coming out in.
We'll just have to wait and see what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Coming out in March. I'll tell you what's not coming out in March. The Mario 35th Anniversary Collection. That's when Nintendo will take the games back from you that you have spent full price on. Monster Hunter Rise is another Switch exclusive, coming out in March 26th. And by all accounts, this game looks okay. Except for the fact that it's a downgrade of pretty much everything from Monster Hunter World. Now, Monster Hunter World is a great game. I haven't played it, but I plan to.
Have.
Yeah, I know you have, Dan. I know you love the game.
It's a great game.
Yeah,
I love it. Which is why I'm giving like opposite opinion.
Yeah.
I'm giving Monster Hunter Rise a pass. I don't think it's something that we should technically avoid. Because what I've seen from trailers, like what they're doing with the weapons and how they're actually adding new shit from, it's like Monster Hunter World upgrading from the original to Iceborne.
Yeah.
They introduced the new Hook Claw. Now they've introduced a bug, which is similar to the Hook Claw, but you can actually do different things, like different combos and actual different moves in the game now rather than in World. And obviously, since it's a Switch port, not a port, it's just a Switch game. It's not going to be the best looking, but for the Switch, I don't think it looks that bad. For like a Switch goddamn open world game like that, it ain't that bad. And
like I said before, the game looks okay, but comparative to World, I would say just play World.
I mean, I guess depends on that. Yeah, it depends on how they price it. To be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Moving straight on to April 22nd, Humankind is a grand strategy game, like you go from the dawn of time and to the future. That's all I have to say about it, really. PC exclusive, looks generic, looks boring. Just a meh. There are much better strategy games to play. Moving on to May the 7th, coming out on PC, PlayStation and Xbox, HUD Outlaws and Legends. The Robin Hood game.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Why? Why? It's also going to be a live service game. Like Marvel's Avengers. We all know how well that worked out. So live service is essentially you buy the game, and then there are certain events that go on in the game which you then have to pay to do. So it's like continuous DLC.
Jeez.
Yeah. Bad.
Bad.
So that's all the bad games really we could find, which with a definite release date. Like I said, there's really not that many. It's a good year for gaming this year, but there is one which I know we have opposite opinions on, me and Dan. No release date yet. Coming to PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Halo 6, Halo Infinite. Yeah, no, this game looks like garbage, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's getting updated. It'll look better than when it was.
Allegedly. I mean, have you seen Craig? Like.
Yeah, but that was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, I know. I know the game is getting updated, and the release date has been pushed back to improve. But with the head of 343 leaving the studio, like, I don't have high hopes for this personally. But you know,
I guess I still want to keep my head high though, because I love Halo. So I hope, because if I don't hope, then I'll just,
anything's gonna be better than Halo 5.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather be let down when it comes out than just not care about it, because I want to care about it. I want to care about Halo Infinite, like, bringing back some people from Halo Wars. It's a good idea. Bringing in some, some obscure villains, bringing them into like the light.
And also, Master Chief Collection is also promised new content this year. I thought I'd just throw that out there. So we'll see what that takes the form of, considering they've already done all of the games.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are good though. So I'm hoping.
So that is every single game so far that has been announced for 2021. The good and the bad, and the meh,
and the ugly,
the ugly werewolf, the apocalypse, Earthblood. Craig the ugly. Yeah.
Craig and the main character from the werewolf game.
Yeah. And before we move on to the movie section, I just want to give a special shout out to 2 2022 games that I'm very excited for. Well, one that I'm excited for, and one I'm holding my reservations for. 2022, Pragmata, a Capcom game, looks so good. Looks absolutely brilliant, man. All we've seen is the cinematic so far, but that is captured with the in-game engine, and it looks brilliant, man. Looks very interesting.
This game.
The Spaceman
like
game.
Nobody knew idea what it was.
Yeah, it just came out there in the I think it was the PS5 State of Play. And it just came out of nowhere. Nobody knew it was announcing. Nobody knew anything about it.
Yeah, it was either that or it came out even earlier, but then they just did the same trailer in the State of Play.
Yeah. Like,
it
was completely out of nowhere, and I'm super hyped for this. Yeah. Capcom just make good games. Like, also Resi 8 rather, coming out this year as well. That's a Capcom game. They just make good games. So, and another 2022 game I want to hold my hopes for is Lord of the Rings Gollum, coming out on PS5 and Xbox Series X. It's in the same universe as the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War games, both of which are very good games. Which is why I'm sort of excited for this. I don't care about Lord of the Rings. I've never seen the Lord of the Rings movies or read the books, but I've played those two games and they're both very good. And Gollum in general.
Lord of the Rings is cool. I like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Hobbit not so much, but Lord of the Rings is pretty cool.
It's a cool universe. And yeah, Gollum, like from the screen caps we've seen, looks too real. He looks too real. It looks absolutely amazing. But we've got no gameplay, so we're just gonna have to see what form that game takes. Could be anything. So that does it for the games. I hope you've taken away something you didn't know about, whether that be good or bad. At least one thing. Moving straight on to the movies of 2021. Again, the cinema industry, the movie industry is probably the one that's been the hardest hit in entertainment by the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're getting we're getting a lot of good stuff that has been pushed back from 2020. It's coming in 2021. A lot of good stuff. So once again, we're doing months. So starting off with the best movies. Starting off in January. There is only one. January the 29th. That being the Rugrats remake. Yeah, boy. I love the Rugrats. I love the old show. I watched it a lot as a kid.
Hey.
Oh my god, I can't wait for this. There's an all-star cast attached to it as well. There's a lot of big names attached to this project. It's gonna be great. I didn't really know about it until I was researching for this episode. So yeah, a pleasant surprise. January the 29th. Moving on to February. February 19th is a movie which I loved. I saw it when it was I think it was at the TIFF Film Festival back at the end of like October-ish last year. I saw it when it was streaming there. It's coming out officially on February 19th. Nomadland. Super like it's an indie film. It's a very introspective movie. It's gonna make you think. It stars the actress whose name escapes me from 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which again is an absolutely brilliant thought-provoking movie. Nomadland looks to be something in the same vein. Like it's brilliant. I can't tell you more without spoilers, but it will make you think. It will make you reevaluate your life pretty much, and what you have and what others don't have pretty much. Looked great. Also streaming at the TIFF Film Festival, which I didn't actually see, but it looks great. Coming out on February the 26th. The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins, who is best known for playing Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs. And apparently people are saying this is his best performance since Silence of the Lambs. So I'm super hyped for this. It stars obviously Hopkins as a man who's dealing with Alzheimer's, and it sort of shows him and his family and how they sort of care for him and take him through his final days and stuff. Again, looks like a very thought-provoking movie. Apparently it's portrayed in a very sensitive manner. The Father, check it out. It looks very good.
And its sequel coming out 5 years, The Mother.
The Mother. And also dropping on February 26th, which is very strange considering it's quite soon and we know literally nothing about this movie, is the new movie from M. Night Shyamalan. Obviously, the man famous for Split, Signs, stuff like that.
Loves
the twist,
so
the twist man.
The Twist Man. Do we even know its title?
No, we know nothing about this. We know no title, no cast, no plot, nothing, except for the fact that M. Night Shyamalan is directing. Dropping February 26th, I guess.
Just almost 2 months, and it's... no, okay.
Yep. So, going straight into March, there are a lot of films dropping on March the 5th, for some reason.
Oh my god, yeah, jeez.
So many. We're starting off with a movie I'm personally excited for because I'm a fan of the franchise. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Not the newer one.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. It is a direct sequel to Ghostbusters 2, focusing on the either the kids or the grandkids of the original Ghostbusters.
And the one that's still alive is still there as well.
Yes, Bill
He's
Murray.
in the movie.
Bill Murray. Yeah. Not Dan Aykroyd. He's too busy making vodka.
It's Crystal Skull vodka.
Crystal Skull vodka.
He's making a sequel to it.
Yeah.
No, John's gonna review it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Ghostbusters Afterlife looks like it will take a little bit more of a horror themed tone than the 2016 movie.
There are some comedy looks from it though.
Yeah, and some comedy. Good. Finn Wolfhard's in it. You know, I love that guy. He's in it.
You do.
March the 5th. It looks good. Also, a really weird sequel. Like, it came out of nowhere, dropping on March the 5th on Amazon Prime. Coming to America. So, but the number 2, because it's number 2.
Looks funny.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy. He starred in the original comedy Coming to America. about like he's like a Zambian prince who moves to New York. It's very funny. I think that's from the 80s or 90s. And this is a sequel where he takes what he's learned and he brings it back to his kingdom.
I could imagine that it's. I hope it's somewhat similar to Borat. That could be funny.
Yeah, it looks to be the same sort of vein. Yeah, can't wait for that. Also, March the 5th is Raya and the Last Dragon, an animated movie.
Sounds like a goddamn straight to DVD Disney movie.
I know. Which is why I'm surprised that it looks so good. We know nothing about the plot, and we've seen no trailer, but we've seen a few screenshots of it, and it looks good. The art style looks great.
I mean, the teaser trailer did come out in October.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. I'll have to give that a watch. Yeah. Yeah. March the 5th, Raya the Last Dragon. I just love animated films in general, so. Finally,
they're going Disney are making something unique.
Yeah.
Rather than just remaking something.
Yep. Yeah, this is a Disney film, not a Pixar film, I believe. Yeah, can't wait for that. Masters of the Universe also drops on March the 5th. A live-action remake of the classic 80s cartoon show, you know, where He-Man, She-Ra, Skeletor, all those boys were part of.
I'll get you next time, He-Man!
This is a live-action remake. Once again, we know pretty much nothing about it, except for the directors.
Who's burly enough to play He-Man?
I know. It's probably going to be Dwayne Johnson or something like that, man.
But how? Wait a minute.
Yeah, March the 5th.
Oh my god. Wait, the original was David Hasselhoff. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was really bad. That live action movie was really bad.
Wow. Why do you either want to get him back or two?
Imagine.
Get goddamn whatchamacallit? What's he called? I can't remember what his name is. It doesn't matter.
Great, thanks for that, Dan.
Continue.
I think John Cena would be a good He-Man.
Does he do the? I mean, actually, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Just tan him. You just tan him and put the wig on, and he'll be good. Also coming out March the 5th, Jackass 4. Once again, this sort of came out of nowhere. We know nothing about Jackass 4, except, you know, it's another Jackass movie, so there's not really going to be a plot. It's mainly just going to be 4 guys mutilating themselves in like really just out there pranks. I love Jackass. It's really funny, and the stuff they get up to is awe-inspiring. How any of them are still alive. Yeah. March 12th is a prequel movie to one of the best shows of all time, The Sopranos. The Many Saints of Newark is a prequel movie dropping on Amazon Prime on March the 12th, and apparently, even though it's set before the series, it's going to give closure to the fans who were unsatisfied with the series ending, which is a lot of them. But yeah, that's all we really know about it. The Many Saints of Newark looks cool. I'm a fan of The Sopranos, and the show's going to be the movie's going to look, it looks pretty good. Also dropping on March 19th is a Marvel movie.
This is a Marvel movie I'm actually hyped for.
Well, it's not technically a Marvel movie, it is a Sony movie. It's in the Venomverse, so it's Marvel but not really. Morbius, starring Jared Leto. Jared Leto, he's a good actor, alright? I know his performance as Joker in Suicide Squad doesn't really convince anyone, but he's a good actor. He's an American Psycho and he's brilliant.
It's so laughable.
Yeah.
About the pun.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he's playing the title character.
It like for someone who just doesn't care for supervillain movies.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. Like the visuals, like what it's happening. It looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's probably why I like Venom. It's because I don't care about.
These movies are definitely existing on their own as their own things.
Yeah,
Morbius.
Exactly.
Morbius, one of my favorite Marvel Knights characters. he's a living vampire. That's pretty much all I can say about him. I love his character design, and it looks like they're going straight from the comics with the movie, like a very comic-ish look.
It looks 80s, but I love it.
Yeah. Yes. So that's March. Moving on to April. April the 2nd. Finally. No Time to Die. The newest James Bond movie is finally
getting a thing.
It's finally coming out, bro. This has probably been the one that's been pushed back the most due to COVID. It's finally coming out. April the 2nd. Daniel Craig's final movie as James Bond.
Big rip. He's done good.
Yeah, he's done okay. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, what else is there to say? Just go and watch the many, many trailers that have been put out for the many, many release dates. I mean, you've pretty much seen the movie. I mean,
bro, it's probably a goddamn completely different movie after this.
Moving on to April 16th is BIOS, which is a movie which I knew nothing about, starring Tom Hanks as an old sort of inventor type thing. It seems similar to Archive, which is a movie I talked about last episode, a sci-fi from 2020, based around robots. We don't really know that much. I know there's a trailer out, but again, it's a teaser. BIOS looks very wholesome. It looks like a wholesome film. Also mixed with some sci-fi elements, that sort of thing. Tom Hanks is cool. He's recovered from COVID, you know. Big up. This is his first movie to come out since he recovered.
Way to go, soldier.
Yeah, good for him. Obviously, nothing beats the Polar Express, where he played like every character. But, you know.
Oh, the Polar Express. That's not. I'm gonna review that on one of our movies. Better.
Moving on to April 23rd. The first of two movies coming out on April 23rd, both of which look absolutely amazing. A Quiet Place Part 2. Yes, originally meant to come out in February 2020.
Jesus.
It's now been pushed back to April 2021 for some reason. Obviously because of COVID and stuff, but the movie was finished. Like, I don't understand why they've waited this long to release it, but, you know, it's releasing. With the same cast. Well, you know, the same cast. I won't spoil anyone who dies in the first one, but yeah.
I genuinely sad. It's like, almost brought me to tears. It's so fucking, it's so, like, wholesome in a sad way. You know what I mean?
I get you. I know exactly what you mean. Also starring Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders is also in there with a big long beard. He looks pretty hobo-ish. He looks pretty post-apocalyptic.
I like his acting.
Yes, so do I. He's great. And once again, it looks to expand the world a little bit more than the previous film did, which was more of a sort of confined, shut-in experience. This there's a lot of characters in this one. It's going to expand it a lot more. Looks fun. Also coming out on April 23rd, a film that to my knowledge, wasn't delayed at all, but this is just when it was always going to come out. Last Night in Soho. Oof. The new movie from the director of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Baby Driver. Both of which are, like, definitely in my top 10 movies of all time. Last Night in Soho stars Matt Smith. His first role, I think it's his first movie role for a long while.
Last one, I believe. Possibly the Terminator movie, no?
I can't remember. I think so, maybe, yeah.
Because he was the.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he was the adult version of like the android that was being created during the movie. It's cool. He's very ominous, so he fits the role pretty well. He's got that look to him.
Last Night in Soho seems to be like a time travel horror type thing, like a dark sci-fi. We haven't heard much about this. Once again, it's very mysterious, being kept under wraps. But I have hopes. I have high hopes. Edgar Wright, the director, has always said he wanted to do a horror. So, you know, hopefully he's got a plan in mind. We'll see.
Let's see if we can do it.
Yeah, I'm very hyped for that. Moving into May, we have only 3 films of note in May. all of which are releasing on May 21st.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate for big moviegoers.
Yeah,
for their
exactly.
wallets.
Well, one of them is only releasing on streaming, so that's fine.
Oh yeah,
The first one.
I mean, is it fine though?
The first one releasing in cinemas is Free Guy. This looks so weird, man. Ryan Reynolds movie where he is an NPC in like a GTA style game. It's so weird. It looks so weird. That's all.
Yeah,
That's really all there is to it. It looks
could be really fun though.
Yeah, it looks really fun, and it looks like they've actually got down all the GTA mechanics. They've got them. They're doing them well. Like, yeah, it just looks fun.
Yep, and he just keeps respawning as well.
Yeah, exactly. Every time.
Over self-aware.
Yeah,
and I love it.
And I love when the main protagonist character is like switching guns, like it is in GTA. He's just like pulling them out of his back, just from nowhere. Yep. I love it. Yes, yep. Free Guy looks very cool. This movie, releasing on streaming, May 21st, on HBO Max. Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh my god.
Which is weird because it's the movie I would have most liked to see in cinema.
Yep. Oh, it's such a rip.
Yeah, big rip.
Because King of the Monsters was so cool because of how epic it was.
Exactly, and this one looks to be even more epic in scale. But
which the reason why Legendary made Kong Skull Island in the first place was to make Kong as big as Godzilla, so they could fight.
Samuel L. Jackson as Kong as well. What a great casting choice.
My.
Yeah.
Yep. It's so fucking cool.
Even though we're gonna have to watch it on a small screen, I'm hyped for this.
I've been hyped for this as soon as this came out.
Yeah, as soon as Godzilla King of the Monsters came out,
not even that. As soon as Kong Skull Island came out, because that at the end credits had a a teaser.
Yeah.
So it was just like, ooh, we could get a Godzilla versus King Kong, just like it's the super old Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
And that is when IMDb brought it up that it would come out 3 to 4 years after it, and I was like, oh, I cannot wait for this amount of years to do it, and it's finally happening.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yep.
I'm super hyped.
Also, also coming out May 21st in cinemas. I put this in the good category. But it's really
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping, but it's likely that it's going to be more of a so bad it's good thing.
Which can be good at some point.
Yeah, Spiral.
Like the room.
Yeah, like The Room. Spiral, or Saw 9. It's coming out on May 21st. Original, once again, like Quiet Place, meant to come out on February 2020, but it's now coming out on May 21st, 2021. Starring Chris Rock, who I know nothing about except for the fact he voiced the zebra in Madagascar. And also starring Samuel L. Jackson as his father, which will be great.
Wish he was my father.
And it just seems like there's a plot, kind of. It's just detectives investigating the traps. Looks like a gore fest, pretty much. Saw is always fun, except for Jigsaw Saw 8. That's just boring. But at the very least, Saw is always fun.
Looks bad.
Yeah, exactly. At the very least, it's always fun. Moving on to go on.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I just simply gonna say that Saw 1 is like an amazing movie.
Yeah, Saw 1 and 2.
Your roots.
Yeah, like even I would say the trilogy, the first trilogy, Saw 1, 2, and 3 are actually good movies.
I know that Saw 2 was like in the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Saw 3 was this guy, like his son died in a car accident or something, and the whole thing is about him getting revenge.
Oh yeah, with the ice block.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, that one.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
And it was so obvious that Saw was meant to be a trilogy, but they were like, no, make more.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like as soon as they found out, as soon as John Kramer died, then that was it.
Yeah. Moving on to June. June the 4th, Sesame Street remake. A movie.
Everyone's hyped for that.
I'm actually genuinely hyped for this.
Got that.
I love Sesame Street. I think it's great, and a remake is going to be great. Yeah, once again, we know nothing about this except for the fact that Anne Hathaway is going to be in it. Anne Hathaway is a pretty famous actress, I would say. I only know her as Catwoman from The Dark Knight Rises, but I'm sure she's been in other stuff because she is quite well known. Moving on to a really weird movie. Once again, I didn't know about this at all until I was researching for this episode, but it looks really cool. June 18th, In the Heights, which is I believe it's like a softcore musical. Don't quote me on that. It's a musical. Yeah. Focusing on 3 different couples in, I believe, the Washington Heights sort of area. It looks pretty cool. As far as musicals go, I don't really watch a lot of musicals, but this one looks interesting. Yeah, that's all I really can say about it because I don't know that much about it, but just In the Heights, put it on your radar.
Definitely do that.
Yeah. Also coming out on June 18th is Pixar's next movie after Soul, which I still haven't seen, but apparently it's great. Luca, which is about a boy who... that's it.
Sorry. I just, like, in my head, you stopped talking after you said boy.
Yeah, it's about a boy who makes friends with a merman child.
Merman child.
A merman child. A mer-redditor. A mer boy. That's pretty much all we know. It looks to be wholesome as hell. Coming out on June 18th.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Though, like,
well, yeah, it is a Pixar movie.
Yeah, I guess.
I love it. Yeah, and also Soul. Oh my god. Soul looks so good, man.
Yeah.
In terms of animation, yeah. Moving on to July. July the 2nd is another sequel that's coming out of nowhere from a franchise I long thought was dead. Top Gun 2, Maverick, starring Tom Cruise, is a direct sequel to Top Gun 1, which was from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, around that time.
Why? But it looks good. I don't... it just looks similar to Mission Impossible. It just looks like Tom Cruise doing crazy stuff, which I'm on board for. Mission Impossible has always been my guilty pleasure. I just love watching him do crazy stunts. Yeah, looks cool.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is cool.
Yeah, he is. Shame he's only like 5'5".
Hey, Craig goes 5'6".
He's a man let down.
Oh no.
Anyway, July 60th.
Sorry, coming.
A movie I'm so incredibly hyped for because I love the first one. I know it's terrible, but I love it. Space Jam 2.
It isn't terrible.
It's pretty bad.
It's something alright.
Space Jam 2, the sequel to the Looney Tunes NBA crossover movie.
Spaceman, Space Jam 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, instead of having Michael Jordan as the NBA player, like he was in the first one, it's LeBron. So,
yeah.
It's going to be odd, but I'm on board. I love Space Jam. Moving straight on to August. August the 6th sees the release of probably the biggest meme in all of superhero film history. The Suicide Squad.
Not to be mistaken for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide
Squad.
Directed by James Gunn, who also made the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Has about a cast of like 30 people. Like the biggest, I think it's on par with Avengers Endgame in terms of how many characters it has in it.
Cool.
But they're all just like really little known DC supervillains. Like,
but I dig that.
I dig it. Yeah, John Cena is in it. In a costume that looks like it's made out of like fancy dress.
Exactly.
But that's his character. Like in the comics, he also has a really bad costume. So
yeah,
I love how they carried that over.
Fucking Polka Dot Man or whatever his name is in it.
Yeah, Polka Dot Man, played by my man from Ant-Man, the Russian guy.
Can't
He
remember.
was great. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Suicide Squad, August the 6th.
The Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Moving on to August 27th. Bit of a jump. August 27th. Remake of the 90s classic horror Candyman.
That's gonna be cool.
This time fronted by Jordan Peele, creator of Get Out and Us, two absolutely amazing horror movies. Yeah, not much else to say. It will follow the plot of the film, the original film, pretty closely. The trailer looks very cool. Yeah, I actually like the original a lot, and I'm glad to see Jordan Peele, who is a great director. He's at the forefront of this. So yeah, August 27th also is a documentary about the Beatles. The Beatles Get Back, releasing on August 27th, a feature-length, behind-the-scenes sort of documentary. Never before seen footage of the Beatles, and it sort of delves into the group actually as people, and like how they interact with each other and their relationships and stuff. It looks very good. I like a bit of the Beatles stuff. Yeah, it looks cool. September, only one movie of note. September 17th, Death on the Nile is an adaptation of the Agatha Christie murder mystery novel, similar to Murder on the Orient Express, which came out 2019, I believe. This looks great. It's got a all-star cast, yeah, huge cast. Yeah, Death on the Nile, September. Make a note. October, 2 films of note, but 2 of the films I'm most excited for this year. October the 1st, the remake of Dune. Dune, the 80s sci-fi classic by David Lynch, getting remade, again with an all-star cast. There's pretty much every famous actor you can name in this movie.
Yep.
And yeah, once again, it was pushed back because of Corona. It's also releasing on HBO Max, as Warner Brothers has outlined. Also, jumping ahead a week, October the 8th is the Uncharted movie, starring Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. He looks great. He looks great in the costume. He looks great in the character. We've seen some pictures. Love him. I love Tom Holland in general. I think he's a good actor. Yeah, interesting to see how he can do Nathan Drake, who is one of my favourite video game characters. Yeah. Moving on to November. November the 5th, one of 2 films releasing on November the 5th, is a as yet untitled Elvis biopic. Very strange. We've seen some really good music biopics over the past few years. We got Bohemian Rhapsody about Queen, and we had Rocket Man about Elton John. And now Elvis is getting the biopic treatment.
Yeah.
No title yet. Yeah. Yeah, I love Elvis also. No title as of yet, but Baz Luhrmann is directing. Baz Luhrmann is the director of the most recent Great Gatsby movie. I like that movie.
So it could be either or then.
I like that movie. Alright, I like it. And
but the car hitting scene is
I know.
Just why?
The one thing we can say about Baz Luhrmann is he's very, very cinematic.
Tries too hard.
Very dramatic. It's going to be a very dramatic movie, this Elvis movie, I can tell.
Yeah.
And also releasing November the 5th, Spider-Man 3, starring Tom Holland. Yes.
Hey.
Yes, we need this. There have been rumors it's going to be connected to Doctor Strange 2, which will also feed into the multiverse, which Marvel is creating now. And the original actor for Dr. Octopus from the Sam Raimi movies,
yes.
Spider-Man 2, is confirmed for this movie as Dr. Octopus.
Yep.
So please, just give us Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland the same movie. Please do that. Yeah, I'm hyped for Spider-Man 3. Not much is known about it so far. November 19th sees the release of Mission Impossible 7, another Tom Cruise doing crazy stunts movie. Yeah, I'm hyped for that. Again, not much is known. Fallout was really good, the most recent one. I really like that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how crazy Tom Cruise goes into space without any protection.
He's going in raw.
He's going in raw. Yeah. Tom Cruise literally steps in front of a moving train. Yeah. Mission Impossible 7 coming out in November 19th. Moving on to December is another musical. December the 10th sees the not the first, but the first major studio movie adaptation of West Side Story, the Broadway musical, starring Ansel Elgort. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Who plays Baby in Baby Driver? Brilliant actor. I love him.
He's Baby.
He is Baby. He is Baby. He stars, and it's I'm sure the story of West Side Story is pretty well known by now if you're into that whole musical scene. So yeah, coming out December the 10th. Looks pretty cool. December the 22nd sees the release of a movie which does not need to be made. Let's put it that way. But I'm happy that it exists.
They should have stick to one.
Yeah, they should have stuck to one. But Matrix 4 is releasing.
When did 3 come out? How long ago?
I don't know. I think it was 2000s. I'm not sure.
Jeez.
Matrix 4, again starring Keanu Reeves as Neo, is coming December the 22nd. That's all we know. That's all we know. It's got the same directors, the Wachowski brothers, or Wachowski sisters now, as they have both changed their gender. They're both at the helm. They've directed the first 3 movies. They're directing this one. Yeah, I can't say anything because we don't know anything, but Keanu's in it, so should be cool.
Oh, it'll be a treat.
Yeah.
Just with Keanu.
December 25th, Christmas Day 2021, sees the release of Babylon, which is from the director of La La Land, which again is a musical. Very good. This, so La La Land was sort of a homage to classic Hollywood. This is even more of a homage to classic Hollywood, set in the 30s, sort of, and it focuses on the transition from silent movies to talkies, to motion, to movies. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. I like La La Land, and the director's certainly got a great style. So, those are all of the movies with set release dates this year. We've just got a few with no set release dates. Starting with one, I was genuinely angry when it was announced it was pushed back because I was so hyped for this movie. I was genuinely enraged. That being Antlers. Yes, please. Wendigo horror movie. I love the Wendigo mythology. And,
The Ritual.
Yeah, like The Ritual. Yes, The Ritual. Great movie.
The Ritual was a cool movie.
Yeah, great movie. Antlers, directed by Guillermo del Toro, who also directed Pan's Labyrinth, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. He's a great horror director. Great horror director.
2 great movies right there.
Yeah. Antlers looks great. I was so sad that it was pushed back. But
It was goddamn. The final trailer was back in December 2019.
Yeah.
So it's been so long.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. It will come out in 2021. It has been confirmed, but there's no solid release date. Moving on to a film that nobody knows about except me. The French Dispatch, which is the new movie from Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson being the director of Fantastic Mr. Fox and The Grand Budapest Hotel, among other very good movies.
Dogs.
Isle of Dogs? Oh my god, I completely forgot he did that. Yes,
Isle of Dogs so
I love
much.
that movie too. Yes, such a good movie. It seems to be an entirely black and white film, or at least it's releasing in colour and black and white, two separate things.
Cool.
Focusing on, it's described as a love letter to journalism. Wes Anderson himself was a journalist before he turned to film, and yeah, it looks very cool. It stars the same guy who stars in the Dune remake, whose name I completely forget, and I'm very sorry, but I really like his acting. He's in it. So yeah, it looks good. Moving on to another superhero movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Black Adam. Yes, please. I like Black Adam as a character, and Dwayne Johnson, for better or worse, is a very well-known actor. from what he said about the movie, he's like super hyped. He's like a huge Black Adam fan. So
that's so cool. He's
Yeah.
he's a nerd.
Yeah, he is,
Dwayne
yeah.
The Rock Johnson is a nerd.
yeah, and yeah,
I mean,
it's really
we know that the guy, the Superman is a gamer. We know that, so it's
he's
not
a
a big
huge
stretch
gamer.
Dwayne
Yeah,
is a goddamn nerd.
yeah. So
Oh,
Black Adam
cool.
is coming out in 2021. Looks pretty cool. We've only seen like a short teaser trailer so far, but you know, could be cool. Shazam. Obviously, Black Adam is Shazam's main nemesis. Shazam was a good movie. It came out in 2019,
Oh yeah,
I believe.
Shazam's-
Yeah, good movie.
I like the Deadpool-esque like training thing.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Go on, shoot me, go on, do it. Right, you better get this on call, on a video, right? And then you shoot him, and just nothing's. You're dead. Punches him through the door,
Yeah.
and then just take a bunch of goddamn food as a reward.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Moving on to Blazing Samurai, which is an animated movie which takes obviously takes inspiration from Blazing Saddles, but also the Western genre in particular. But it is sort of more oriented towards kids. Looks pretty fun. I don't think it's by Disney or DreamWorks. Could be wrong though. Yeah, no release date so far. It looks pretty cool.
I'm hoping it isn't bad.
Yeah.
Because what I can see from the cover is a large cat's ass.
Nice.
So I'm hoping
Yeah.
it's not bad.
I just like reference films in general, and since this is a Western sort of heavily inspired movie, well, it'll be
Yeah.
interesting. Our final movie of 2021, our final good-looking movie of 2021, is a stop-motion Pinocchio remake, not live action. Yeah, we don't really know much about this other than it exists and it's coming out in 2021. Thank God it's not live action, because Disney, as we know, have definitely not had the best track record. Yeah, that's all we know. Pinocchio, it's one to watch. I love the original. Yeah. So, those are our top picks for the best movies coming out in 2021. Now, there are a few bad movies. Not that many, but there are a few. So we're going to just whiz through these because this is getting long. So, January, a sequel to, in my opinion, the worst film ever made, Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, is coming on January the 15th. Do not watch it. January 29th is 355 or 355. Is an all-female led spy thriller similar to, I think it's Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but the trailer just looks unfunny. Yeah, that's all I can say. Don't watch it. Moving into February the 5th is another live action Cinderella remake.
Oh, another one?
Like, what? I swear it's only been like 5 years since the last one. But yeah, there's another one. Moving into March, also coming out on March the 5th, adding to the massive roster of movies on March the 5th, is the Tom and Jerry remake movie. The art style looks like garbage, that's all I can say. I don't have a problem with Tom and Jerry, I like the old stuff. And this looks to be more of that, but with a very... It looks like the Captain Underpants movie art style. Like,
It's weird because it's live action, but then it's got them as like their OG
yeah.
2D selves. It's like it's weird because it's mixing the two, but I think they could do a little bit better with mixing.
Like
They
Space
stand
Jam.
out a bit too much. Exactly, yeah, they stand out a bit too much.
Yeah.
But like, cause they're shaded in a certain way.
Yeah. Moving on to March the 12th is The King's Man. Is the third Kingsman movie. Kingsman is good. The movies are good. But this is like going back to night times and like the origins of Kingsman and stuff. It just looks weird, considering Kingsman has always been like this high-tech spy thriller type thing, and they're going back to like medieval times. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Moving on to March 19th is a as yet untitled Paranormal Activity movie, but the general buzz, like I like the original Paranormal Activity, but it gets old fast.
Yeah. If you wanna just watch them, just watch pretty much its YouTube video
Yeah,
of
exactly.
them watching all of them.
Exactly.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
You'll get better enjoyment out of just watching.
Yeah, and yeah, the general buzz around this new one is just no one cares. Also coming out on March 19th is Tomb Raider 2, the sequel to the 2018 movie, which was garbage.
Nobody asked for.
Yeah, no one asked for this sequel. Nobody wants this sequel. I don't know why they would waste money on it, considering the first movie tanked at the box office. Moving on to March 26th is, again, the sequel nobody asked for, but from a movie that made so much money at the box office. Boss Baby 2, Family Business.
Cookies off of closers.
Just
Yeah.
let's keep it going. Let's just move on.
I'd rather not
Yeah.
live in a world that has Boss Baby 2. Probably going to be Boss Baby 3.
Yeah.
So
The Boss Baby cinematic universe.
exactly,
Yeah.
they're just gonna. Oh god, it's gonna come in together with the Cats and Dogs movie.
Oh god no. Yeah. Moving into April the 2nd sees the release of Fast and the Furious 9. They're getting ever closer to Fast 10. Your seatbelts.
Yep. I'm hoping that they don't mess up that opportunity.
Yeah, they better say that. Fast and Furious 9 obviously just looks like more of the same. Looks boring car movie. Yeah, I've never really been a fan of Fast and the Furious, but at least I can see the merits of the old ones. But this one just looks like trash.
Yeah.
Moving into May the 7th is the sees the release date of the Black Widow movie. Black Widow, obviously a character who, spoilers, who died in Avengers Endgame. This is going to be a prequel, which goes back to before she joined the Avengers. It just seems
so they finally gives them like the movies like actual backstory on how she was brought up, because they like edged at it like in
Age of Ultron.
But we like never actually knew. Like that could be interesting. Cause I like that idea.
Yeah,
with,
but it's
because the young Hulk as well.
Seems like a cash grab to me, in my opinion.
Maybe, but we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see. Robert Downey Jr. is also in it as Tony Stark, who everyone knows also died in Endgame.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to watch.
Yeah,
that's going to be really hard.
Yeah, May 7th for the Black Widow movie. May 28th is Cruella, which I am counting as a live-action 101 Dalmatians remake, so it's going to be bad.
They already did that, though.
They already did that, and it was average. It was not terrible, but
we'll just watch the animated.
Yeah, exactly.
One.
The animated one is so much better.
Good.
Or just read the book. The book is great as well. Well, yeah.
Ew, reading.
Anyway, Cruella. Yeah, it exists. Moving on to June. June the 4th sees the release of the Micronauts movie. Micronauts basically being like a Playmobil or Imaginext, that sort of thing. There's a movie about them.
The Playmobil movie.
Yeah.
Now we just need another Bionicle movie.
I wish, bro. Anyway, yeah. Micronauts, something that's somehow even less well known than Playmobil, is getting a Lego movie ripoff, and nobody is excited. Also coming out on June the 4th is The Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It. No one is hyped for this after Annabelle Comes Home and The Curse of La Llorona, who is also, both of which are also in the Conjuring universe. Conjuring started off strong. Conjuring 1 is pretty good. Conjuring 2 is also, pretty good. I know, that's your scariest movie of all time, right, Dan?
I'm gonna let that down, huh?
No, I'm never gonna let you live that down. And then they had Annabelle. I think the second Annabelle movie is the good one. I don't know. I haven't seen any of them. But yeah.
The prequel one.
Yeah,
that one's good.
Nobody's excited for The Conjuring 3. I mean, it could be good because the mainline Conjuring series are actually okay.
Yeah, like maybe it could be better. Maybe they could be like, maybe this is like an actual main story. Well, maybe we should actually try.
Yeah, but I don't have high hopes personally. They're also there also is like a crooked man film bouncing around the works.
Oh, that could, yeah.
But he
Why
was in
not?
the movie for like 30 seconds.
Yes, and everybody loved it.
Yeah, it was definitely the best part of that movie.
Exactly. So why the hell not?
Yeah. July, moving to July the 2nd, sees um, the sequel to what I think is one of the worst animated films ever made, ever. Minions 2, The Rise of Gru. Yeah, we can move on. No one asked for this. July the 9th sees the release of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Sounds like just a Chinese movie that's just been dubbed over and put into England. Am I wrong?
You're close. It's a Marvel movie.
What?
Yeah, Shang-Chi is a super, super, super little known Jet Li / Bruce Lee rip-off character. Yeah, it's going to be a martial arts movie, but it's going to apparently it's going to try and do world building with the multiverse and Doctor Strange, that whole multiverse thing they're going for. But I don't see how Shang-Chi can lean into that, because he's just a martial arts guy. Yeah. To me, this movie seems too ambitious. But we'll see. Coming out on July the 30th is something that's following in the footsteps of Pirates of the Caribbean, where it is a movie based off a Disneyland ride, Jungle Cruise, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah. Basically set in the 1930s, and they're like, there's like a group of people on a boat. I think it's in the Amazon or some other big river. And they're trying to find the cure, like immortality elixir or something like that. It looks bad. It looks unfunny, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on to November, we have on November the 5th, the Eternals movie drops. Eternals again being I don't know, I would call them mid. Like they're not little known, but they're definitely not well known Marvel characters.
No idea who they are.
Yeah, exactly. And they're sort of a superhero team of like immortal beings, when each one has different powers and they come from space. Exactly. It looks meh. It looks basic superhero movie. Yeah, I don't really care. They tried to do an Inhumans series, Inhumans being a similar team, that tanked, that flopped. So this looks like Marvel's second attempt at doing that. I'm not excited. Moving on to November the 12th is probably the movie I'm least excited for this entire year. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 3. Yeah, no Johnny Depp. Rip. Big rip. Considering he was meant to be the main villain.
Oh my god, it would have been so cool as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's not in it. J.K. Rowling is writing it. It's a recipe for disaster in my eyes.
I've actually never seen the previous movies. I don't know.
I've seen the first one, and the first one was meh. The second one is really bad, but Johnny Depp saves it in my opinion, because he plays the main villain. He's like super over the top, sort of extravagant. Yeah. He's just fun to watch. But he's not even he is going to be in this one. So yeah, the main villain is going to be recast by someone we don't yet know, mainly because they don't know. They haven't decided yet, and with only like 10 months to go until the movie comes out, and they have to shoot all of the scenes again. It's gonna be crunch. Moving into December, we have 3 movies all coming out on December the 22nd. Hotel Transylvania 4. What?
Why? What?
Where did this come from, bro?
What the hell?
The first one was okay. The first one was average, but then they get bad. Yeah. But then 4 is coming out. No high hopes for this. Also coming out is Sing 2, an Illumination movie. Which, okay, I'm going to say it. I know Illumination bad and all that, but Sing was okay. I kind of enjoyed watching it, personally, in my opinion. I know it's like slammed, but I kind of enjoyed it. But the movie wrapped up so well. Like, why? Sequel.
Just watch IHG's video on it.
Yeah.
God.
Sequel is coming out December the 22nd for some reason.
Nobody asked.
Also coming out in December 22nd is
Oh my
It's the third movie of a series that has been dormant since like I think 2010 or 2012 or something.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes, but the Robert Downey Jr. one. The third one of that is coming out on December 22nd. Looks very, very... Just, yeah, no one asked.
Yeah.
The Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. are sort of just memed on, which I guess is better than the being just bad, which is the Will Ferrell one. Yeah. So those are all the movies with set release dates for 2021. Moving on to we only have 2 movies which have no release date yet. Mortal Kombat, the new movie, sort of rumored to be coming out in April, but we're not sure about that yet. Yeah, this looks... We know nothing about it. The cast looks okay. There's some fairly competent actors in there. But, you know, as a Mortal Kombat movie, man, like, we all know how well Armageddon went. Or Annihilation. I can never remember which one it is.
Still, you'd never know.
I'll never guess. I'll never remember. And I just don't want to. Yeah, this could be good. Because, you know, Mortal Kombat has a good story. But then again, it could be like Annihilation or whatever. Yeah. So we'll have to see close to the time. Also coming out is Escape Room 2. Escape Room. Super little, like no one saw the first one. I haven't seen the first one. I knew it existed, but like I didn't see it. Sequel to that's coming out, which is weird to me considering it seems like a pretty self-contained movie. But yeah, that's coming out. So yeah, that pretty much does it for the movies coming out in 2021. And that wraps it up for our 2021 looking forward episode of the Weeb Couch. 2020 is finally over, the year that many people thought was going to go on forever, but it's finally done, and we're looking forward to a new year. And there's a lot of good stuff. I think especially for games, like there's a lot of great games coming out this year. A lot of good anime as well. Yeah, and you know with movies are actually getting released this year, so you know that's better than nothing. Yeah. So on the whole, I hope it will be an improvement on 2020. But yeah, that has been this episode of the Weeb Couch. We hope you had a great. We hope you took something away from this. You've got a few recommendations to see you through the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, especially beginning of the year for anime. I'm gonna be fully booked.
Oh yeah, well we can go about it on our next episode.
Yep. Yep, exactly. But yeah, that has been this episode of the Weeb Couch. As always, get in touch if you have anything at all you want us to cover. Yeah.
New stuff's getting out.
Yeah,
send us
a lot of new stuff.
Send us over something to do, you know.
Yeah, let us know what you thought of this list. Is there anything that you think looks bad that we said was good, vice versa, all that sort of stuff.
Just let's hope it's not a Tenet 2.
Tenet 2. Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah, as always, make sure to email us if you got any suggestions, if you have anything you want us, you know, any suggestions on the podcast itself. If you leave a comment, follow us on Instagram, DM us on Instagram, all that, you know, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. This cover art obviously is done by Dan himself. Absolutely amazing. His art Instagram's down in the description, as always. Make sure to give that a follow. And yeah. This is, as always, I've been Mason. And yeah, we're wishing you a happy new year.
This year sucked. Let's hope it gets a little bit better with this next
I'll take even a little improvement.
Yeah. I mean, it can't get it. I was about to say it can't get worse than this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to jinx myself.
Yeah, we'll see.
To be honest.
So we'll see you next week for another episode of the Weeb Couch. And until then, have a good week, and we'll see you later.
Peace out.